second on the ladder. I'm joined by Blake Tennant. How are you, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Great day for footy. Better than last week. A bit of drizzle around, but this is perfect conditions for footy, and the ground has really held up really well here as well. I'm looking forward to this contest for both things, because last time when we were watching Waverley, they just put on an absolute clinic and pretty much absolutely just put Donvale out of their placing. Like, it was just great footy to watch. Obviously, Williamson kicked, I think it was 10. I'm not sure if it's 9 or 10, but we'll go as that. And also, I want to see a Coldstream. Coldstream are just growing week by week. It's just 1v2. It sets up the great day, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And welcome to Brett Beston, who's just joined us, a little possibly out of breath now that he's found our location.
I have to be honest, I've never been to Coldstream before, and I got a little bit lost coming here today. So
that's all right. We'll let you compose yourself, and then you can take the reins off me. But we're here for a great game. It's perfect conditions for football today, and at least it gives Coldstream a real good opportunity to sort of see where they sit against the table leaders of Waverley, and I'm looking forward to this contest. How about you, Besto? Now that you're settled, have you found the ground to be in decent condition? And what are you looking for in this game?
It looks a bit patchy, doesn't it? It looks a bit sort of without sort of going out there, but it looks all right. It's a beautiful day out here. Yeah. Which is absolutely fantastic, and there's no rain, so that'll be about the first time in goodness knows how long. But look, Coldstream they've got to be pretty pleased with where they're at. I mean, they came up from Division 4, and there's always that sort of when a team comes up, you never quite know how they're going to go. And of course, they dominated down there. I mean, Darcy Fritz kicking 20 goals in games and things like that was just ridiculous. But they have been very good. They've competed really strongly, and they're right in this. At home today, I don't know. I still like the Waverley Blues.
Yeah.
We saw them play, obviously, was it about a month ago? I think they played Donvale, and we did that game. And they played really well. And to me, they just look right across the park. They just look very strong. But then this looks to be it's quite a big ground, isn't it?
Big ground, yeah.
And people do talk about that. So maybe Coldstream will play this ground a little bit better than the Waverley Blues. So, but I still think the Blues might get up.
Yeah, and you called that game at
yes, I did
against Donvale. What did you sort of find from Waverley? What impressed you probably the most from that hit out? If you can sort of take it back,
it was a bit hard to go past old mate Matty Williamson. Yeah. I mean, he just kept kicking snags. I mean, what did he get? Like 10, I think, from memory.
9 or 10.
9 or 10. I think we gave him. We had him down for 9, but we finished up giving him 10 or something. There was one that we finished up deciding that he kicked. But he's a phenomenon. So it'll just be a question of how they match up on him.
Yep.
Having said that, though, I mean, Coldstream themselves have got some fairly dead-eyed dicks. I mean, Darcy Fritz, we talked about him. He'll obviously be one to look out for.
He kicked 6 last week against Cougars, as did Conti.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's obviously a big key. I mean, the likes of Sapanchi and the likes for the Waverley Blues, I just think right across the board, you've got Hawkins down back. Who's going to play in the ruck for them today? What's his name? It's gone completely out of my head. But they're a well-rounded side. There's not too many weaknesses right across the board for them.
Yeah.
And having said that, sorry to cut you off, Scotty. No. We haven't seen a lot of Coldstream, so I'm talking more from the Waverley Blues because we've seen more of them. So maybe we're doing Coldstream a bit of an injustice. But it's, as I say, the thing could be the ground size today. They obviously play very well up here. And that could be a major factor. It'll just be a question of how the Waverley Blues adapt.
Yeah, and you, Blake, you saw Waverley play at Donvale as well, didn't you? At that time, and what drew your attention through them?
Well, obviously, that you would say the benchmark of this competition. You would say this year, I think they've only lost 1 or 2 games on the ladder, so they're definitely. You would say the hunted team. You would say everyone's going to be after them for sure, and I know Coldstream definitely will be. That's for sure, and I really enjoyed what I saw and witnessed down at Donvale. You guys said about a month ago, and we really did see that this team here is on track to premiership contention. So I'm looking forward to it again. Watching them play and seeing how last time they played and to now. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I think Williams, we touched on about him, he's leading the goal kicking. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he goes. And hopefully he gets manned up on because you don't want a guy kicking 9 goals against you. So looking forward to it, but should be exciting.
And have you seen much of Coldstream in your time either, or is this sort of like Besto sort of said, it's the unknown at the moment, but just sort of seeing the scores track through, they're doing quite well.
Yeah, they have. I think last year a lot of people would have gone on them because obviously they had a superstar of the brother of Bailey Fritsch, Darcy. Really good player. Like I think he brought a lot of people to games and people actually started watching Coldstream. This probably be my first time watching Coldstream play live. I've seen the score lines and all that, but it's just incredible what he can do. And like all of his hard work has definitely shown that. Like obviously playing for Williamstown this year and probably playing 3 to 4 games, and then eventually got back playing here, and last week was no exception when he kicked 6 goals. So it's definitely, I think, that if you look around, there's the cars are full, the parks are full. You can definitely tell it's a big day for Coldstream, that's for sure.
$5 fine for every time someone calls Darcy Fritsch Bailey today. I guarantee it's going to happen, and I guarantee I'll be the first one.
You might have empty pockets by the end of it. I'd say best so, but but look, he's a great inclusion to have back to their side. I think he sort of put his hand up to say, look, I want to play these next few to get the qualification, because it obviously looks like Coldstream's playing the finals and stuff. So it's just what he's going to do today will be interesting. And he's obviously got alongside him. Conti is also delivering with he did well last week with 6 goals as well, and a good result over Scoresby.
Let's have a look at some of the other matches before we sort of talk too much more about this game. We'll probably come back to it, I guess, as the coaches start to join us. But in Premier Division today, I guess one of the standout clashes, and I know we're doing Noble Park next week. That'll be a cracking game. But Baldwin against Noble Park today, boys, that'll be one of the big clashes in Premier Division today.
Yeah, we've obviously seen that clash before. We're talking about sort of seeing teams again, and last time we saw Noble Park at the Bull Ring, and they were very, very impressive on that day, and from then Noble's gone from sort of strength to strength really. So I'm looking forward to a good contest. I'm still questioning sort of where sort of Baldwin sits in the mix. There's sort of, I can't sort of get a total read on him. I know Matt sort of spoke about on the podcast about that he always favours them, and they should be up there. But at the moment, I just think Noble Park's going to be too strong.
Blake, I suppose the interesting thing about Premier Division is it's kind of, we don't want to say it is pretty much locked and loaded in terms of the top 6. I mean, Park, which is a 2.5 wins outside 6th place, so you could probably say that the 6 is pretty much locked in. There's just a question now of maybe some jostling for positions, and if Baldwin did win today, they could move within a win of Noble Park. So that's something to play for, isn't it, as they sort of push towards that top 2?
Yeah, I think it's a big game for not only Noble part of things, but also Baldwin, because a couple of weeks ago we saw him get touched up by Blackburn, and we you would say you question Baldwin, like you go, are they the real deal and all that, like, and they're playing Noble Park, top team, you would say, equal top. But this is a big game because, like, if you think about it, if they win today, right? Just looking at the ladder now, if they win today, Baldwin, they're one game second, like they're one game off second. So this will be a massive game if Baldwin can get up and. But also Noble Park, we want to see, are they also the real deal? Like, it's going to be a real good game of footy, and looking forward down at the Bull Ring, which is really good to see.
The other game that's sort of, I guess, reasonably important in Premier Division today is Blackburn against Donny East. Again, if you look at Blackburn, they are probably safe inside the top 6. But maybe if they could get 2 or 3 wins, they might be able to just push themselves up a place or 2. And alternately, I mean, Doncaster East, how well have they gone? Another one of the promoted sides, and they have just, I think that, I don't know if they've exceeded their own expectations, but they've certainly exceeded mine, and they're sitting in 3rd. And, if Noble were to get rolled today, as we talked about, who knows, Doncaster East could win, and suddenly they're only a win off top spot. So there's a bit to play for there.
Yeah, really closes the gap and makes that sort of push towards the end of the season interesting. At the moment, we're sort of talking about Roval and Noble Park being sort of, the standalones at the moment with 2 games clear. But yeah, take a loss for one of those sides. And look, I probably don't think Roval will lose this week. But Noble Park, and then it creates that closer gap with Doncaster East. They're playing exceptional football. They're playing really, really well. A great test for for Blackburn, but I sort of feel like I feel Doncaster East has just probably got that little bit more polish and sort of probably deserves that at least that top third, that third spot or third, fourth spot.
Blake, a question that'll this is for Ray Baird's benefit because he'll be listening at the moment. The champion of the Roval, the Roval cause. He's going on about how good Roval are, and that's all fine. We haven't seen them play, so we can't really comment too much. Do you think they are the real deal?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
I guess I'm probably looking ahead a little bit to next week because next week we've got Roval and Noble Park, and that is going to be a huge match. Yep. But do you think they're a genuine premiership contender?
Oh, look, they've definitely proven a lot of haters wrong. That's for sure.
I can hear Ray's voice.
And no, they definitely put a lot of haters wrong. Like I think at the start of the year, people were putting them bottom three, you would say, on the ladders. So they've definitely proved a lot of people wrong. But I do see them going into a prelim, but I don't see them making the grand final. That's where I'm putting them. I think with the experience of Naval Park and Bowen, I think those two are my grand final predictions for Premier. But I am very happy about how Roval gone. They've kept all their youngsters and all the way through the junior ranks. Like if you have a look at their team, you've got Lockie Wine there. He's been a Roval player that's played all of his junior careers there, and there's a couple more there as well that have played. So I'm really happy about how Roval kept their core together, which is really good to see.
It's just interesting, like that knock on sort of road. It's been around pretty much all season that we've sort of spoken of it, but it's a tough division, and obviously being Premier, but they've stayed at the top. Like, they've always been up there. It's only this slight move between Noble Park. So I sort of struggled to sort of see how people keep knocking them when they're obviously delivering the results that are getting them the 4 points, and all it takes, whether it's by 1 point or 100 points, you just got to win to get those 4 points, and that's what they've done so far. They come up obviously this week against North Ringwood, and North Ringwood obviously came off a magnificent win against Vermont the other week, and unfortunately that momentum might stop for North Ringwood up against Roval.
I think we're fair to say that Vermont are cooked, but Roe will continue to march on. My internet has completely packed up here. What's the just looking at First Division? We've got Bayswater and Mirrablebark today, Croydon Mitcham, Upper Ferntree Gully, Beaconsfield, and 110 South East Ringwood. I guess that's probably one of the bigger games in Division 1 today. Yeah,
the one Turner South game is going to be interesting. Obviously, coming off 6 wins and up against East Ringwood, who are going to be decent competition for them. That's
Mirrablebark, of course, they had their slip-up, Blakey. Was it last week or the week before? But just at one of those aberrations. I mean, they're still a very, very good side, and very hard to see them not being there at the pointy end of the season.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I think, the game against Upper Gully, I think I touched on it last time. It'll be angry Mirrablebark, and they definitely showed that for sure. That's big. I expect them to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bayswater challenged them.
Yeah. What about Mitcham and Croydon? I mean, they're both sort of vying for that, around that sort of 4th, 5th. Yeah. Is it starting to get a bit tight there, isn't it?
Oh, definitely for sure. It's a hard one.
Actually, they play each other today.
Yeah. And also it's for Montrose's sake as well. We need if Montrose win today against Ludale, that 5th spot is still up for grabs.
So you've done very well. We're about sort of how far are we in? About 10 minutes into pre-game, and that's the first mention of Montrose.
That's a record, especially when we're talking about Mitcham and Croydon. Probably one mention from it is Neil Winston, the Mitcham coach, has re-signed for 2023. I saw, and they're obviously happy with how Mitcham are going through this season.
I'm reasonably confident we could be having an in-depth discussion about the mating habits of the African fur seal, and Blakey would somehow manage to work it to Montrose.
it may well be, but interesting games for that division, and where it's going to play out from there. That's for sure.
Good stuff. Well, that's a bit of a brief look at Premier Division and a brief look at Division 1. So we'll come back in a moment and continue with our look at some of the other divisions and a couple of special guests joining us too in the not too distant future. This is the EFNL Game Day.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why, yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice-cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back to Coldstream. A beautiful afternoon out here. It's going to be absolutely a cracking contest and a big match this afternoon between Coldstream and the top of the ladder Waverley Blues. And it's the Waverley Blues that we turn our attention to now. And it's a great pleasure to be joined by a man who the last time we spoke to him, he was on the sidelines, wasn't playing, but he's out there today and he looks like he's chomping at the bit. Tommy Langford. Tommy, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, a massive game for you guys today. This will really test you out and see, I guess, where you're at. But, you guys absolutely flying. And, you are the hunted at the moment. How does it feel to sort of be sitting up at the top of the ladder? Do you feel it puts a bit more pressure on you?
Yeah, potentially. But I think at this time of year, obviously you're all about preparing for finals. And for us, it's great that we are doing that rather than fighting for finals. So We're very fortunate to be where we are. I think we very much deserve it. But at the same time, we've got to now park that mentality to one side and focus on winning a game because, like we've just spoken about inside the rooms, that, if you start switching off for a moment and thinking ahead about what's next and what's to come, you give you the wrong mentality straight away, and we don't want to give anybody an inch. And, that's the mentality we sort of got at the moment. And we're lucky we've got a deep squad, and pressure for spots is a real thing. So guys are also focused on producing performances today rather than a few weeks' time.
I suppose us media types, we tend to focus on games like today because they're sort of the crunch games. And the last time we did, you were playing Donvale.
Yeah.
So that was another big game. But as you say, every game is important. You can't. These games are big, obviously, to the outsider. But you've got to win every game, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. And there's every chance we're going to play these guys in a final in a few weeks' time. So obviously, we want to start getting it, getting things sorted for then and, learn a bit about each other and obviously, get a mental edge on your opponent that you might be playing in just a few weeks' time.
And Tom, congratulations so far on how the season's progressing.
Thank you.
You've got an interesting sort of couple of weeks. You had the bye last week.
Yeah.
You got another bye in a few weeks. How do you find this? Like, does this refresh the players? Do you have to sort of change sort of focus to keep the players in focus, or how are you going about your sort of end of season?
Look, it is what it is. So first and foremost, we can't control things how we'd like them to be if it was we wanted them to be different. We're very comfortable with the fixture the way it is. We've known about that for quite some time. We freshened up a little bit last week, and from here on in, we'll try and use it as an advantage to make sure that we're on top of our game, whether it be something specific, a tactic or a structure or something like that, or even try and implement something new before the finals. We'll try and capitalise on that break. We'll definitely train hard through the next one, but this one's been great to freshen up. And a few guys, we've got 5 or 6 guys that, missed the game recently with COVID, that, they're great for them to train up in the bye, and other guys that have had, a block of 7 or 8 games in a row, great chance for them to rest. So it's been a bit of an individual basis the last 2 weeks. Hopefully we're ready for today.
G'day, Langers. Just also, last time we touched down was against Don Vale, and Josh Williamson really put on a clinic against Don Vale last time. Are you really happy with the progress he's going through this year? He's leading the goal kicking this year, and are you really happy with his progress into the season?
Yeah, absolutely. His talent speaks for itself, and some of the performances he's had. It was 9 goals that day, and 7 a few weeks later. Speak for themselves. But he's also he creates with his movements and some of his crafts so much for other players as well. In between Matt Perry and Josh in particular, they've only played together in 2 or 3 games this year. So we've still got a lot of growth in those guys as a duo and a combination, and getting that sort of connection right between our forwards, as well as the sort of synergy between our mids and our forwards. So we're still a bit of a work in progress front half, which is really exciting. And then there's plenty of other scoring power in the mix. Obviously, Danny Plaisted, Omar Mohammed, Steely, Joe O'Connell's unfortunately out this week, but plenty of other guys that can hit the scoreboard too. So, he's been a brilliant acquisition for the club. He's a strong leader. He's obviously such a talented player, but he makes his teammates better, which is important.
Of course, at the other end of the field, because we focus on the forwards and the backs often don't get the kudos that they deserve, but the likes of Simon Hawkins down back, he's been colossal this year, hasn't he?
Mate, he has, and you know what? It's funny you bring that up because, internally we talk about defence being our strongest line. And Scotty Savage, as our backs coach, has done a super job with the boys, and we've got the evergreen Ben Turner down there who just seems to take mark after mark, year after year, and a host of young kids that are just all, got their best ahead of them, that, yet to reach their peaks. And Simo is probably right in the middle of that. He's now 25, 26, an experienced player. He brings a toughness, he brings a composure, a really strong will to compete and run. So we actually missed him, I think, the first 4 or 5 games of the season, and he was such a noticeable inclusion after that. And he's been, he's one of the first picked each week.
I suppose the last time you guys met was back in round 7, so it's a little while back now. And you gave him a bit of a telling up, 108 to 70. Do you read much into that? I guess there'll be some personnel changes for both sides from that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Not really. I mean, you sort of work out a little bit more from each team about the way they want to play and their style. But that day was interesting. I think we were up by maybe a goal at half time, and they kicked the first 3 of the third quarter to go up by about 15 points. And from then on, we were able to really turn it on its head. But, we probably have focused more on how they got in front as opposed to, the last quarter when we blew it out of the water. Trying to sort of recorrect some of those imbalances that got them to that position. We obviously want to be a team that starts well and maintains leads rather than, in an arm wrestle all day long. Obviously, being a high-scoring team, that means we can actually concede goals too, because the game can be a bit more open. So we want to make sure we limit their scoring early, and then hopefully later on we can score heavily when the game's more open.
And they're obviously a little bit of a different team from them. They've progressed quite well, and obviously up on the ladder in a top showdown. But obviously now they've got Darcy Fritsch up there, Conti also scoring quite well for them.
Yeah.
What's your sort of plan for those 2 individuals, or is it sort of just more focus on sort of the team aspect of it?
And we've also pulled Lachlan Koger out of semi-retirement, ex-Lilydale. So, they've all of a sudden, with Conti 6 last week, got 4 notable goal scorers, which is probably a situation we haven't had this year playing against a team with that much firepower. So we're excited to see how our backs stack up, and then also our midfield, can prevent the ball getting in there. And, it's a good opportunity for us. We definitely go into the game with a few more matchups than we normally do. But it's just another challenge, another opportunity, and we'll back our players in, and hopefully it goes their way.
Where do you think the game will be won today, from a coaching perspective?
Look, I think through the midfield. It's might be an easy thing to say that because that's we believe we've got enough firepower. They probably feel the same, but I think if we can nullify their ball at stoppage to gets it into their forward line quickly, that'll go a long way to win. And conversely, if we can get the ball flowing from back to forward well, I think that that'll give us a great chance. When we win the inside 50s, handsomely. We normally score pretty heavily, so we'll trust that process. But of course, our mids are the ones that get in there.
You talked about before the one or two of the guys coming back, obviously, that we didn't see last time around. You're not going to give too much away, but in terms of fitness and health, I mean, we are getting into the three-quarter mark of the season, notwithstanding today's nice. Some of the grounds have been heavy. It's been colder. How is the squad overall? Are they sort of hanging in there towards the back end of the season?
I mean, that's the benefit of the buys, obviously, both the one we've just had and the one we'll have in a couple of weeks. That from a health and injury perspective, we're pretty blessed. We're basically full strength. We've got 4 or 5 out today. That they'll all come back in either next week or for the first final. So,
you've got some depth, haven't you?
Yeah,
which is going to be a really pleasing thing.
Look, it is. And we can go further. It's important to touch on our 19 Premier and. Before lost this morning, won the last 5 games in a row, and realistically, there's 3 or 4 guys there that should be playing in this side, but they'll get their chance in the near future. But look, we've made a couple of changes from the last time. There's a couple of guys we probably could have pushed today, but we need to be smart with what's ahead. But there's no real long-term injuries at the moment, so it's a good position.
Good stuff. All right, and just going forward towards the end of the season, I mean, you're at the top of the ladder. Has there been any sort of a chance of the players perhaps getting a bit ahead of themselves?
Of course,
have you been able to keep them grounded?
I hope so. I mean, that's I can't definitively say that, obviously, at the moment, but we're trying to do that. And, some of the pressure for selection that we have through the depth we've just spoken about is a real natural way of sort of sorting that out a bit. That obviously guys are aware that their spots aren't secured, and that helps the training standards maintain and the mentality. But, as a coach, you're always looking for ways to challenge your players differently each week. And, especially coming off a bye, that's probably a bit more tough this week. So we'll hopefully get that balance right in weeks ahead and, starting today.
Tommy, great to see you. Get out there and enjoy it today. It's going to be a fantastic day and the very best of luck.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Tom Langford, the player coach, of course, of the Waverley Blues. As we said, he didn't play the last time we covered the Blues, but he's out there today and he looks pretty keen to get out there as well. Boys, Tommy, good to have him back in the side, but that's a really interesting situation, isn't it? They're sort of 4 and 5 players changing from the last time. They've got more players to come. They've got a heck of a lot of depth here, Blakey, haven't they?
Oh, definitely for sure. You touched on about the 19s. Like, they're in Premier, and it just shows that their depth is going to be very good. And you touched on about as well. There's 4 to 5 players. He said that should be in the senior side, so it's good. It's good for a club perspective, but you would have heaps of coaching headaches for team selection. It's going to be a hard team to crack into. Obviously, they're flying at the moment. I think Resi deserves to sitting on top of the ladder or midway through, through the ladders. So it's great to see, and it's good to see the rise as well of Waverley Blues, because I think 2019 or 2021 they made the grand final, I'm pretty sure. So they're definitely flying, that's for sure.
And Scotty, without putting the moz on them, of course, the other thing that sadly is always just lurking in the background there is the dreaded C word, and there's always a chance that is going to strike at some point of the season, particularly or dare we say it, closer to finals. So that's where the depth might really come into it, mightn't it?
Yeah, and look, I guess this gives them a really good challenge, and like Tom was saying, it's this is probably the first team that's really got quite good scoring power, especially in these last few weeks. We've noticed those scores for Coldstream, so it'll give them at least a good indication how they're sitting, whether they feel like they're in a comfortable spot or whether they need to do that tweaking leading up to finals to just finish off the season the way they've sort of been dominating, I guess, the most part of the regular season. Sure. So it'll be a really interesting contest, and it is a different Coldstream side going up against them this time. So I'm looking forward to that challenge. I hope there is that challenge. But from what we've seen of Waverley, they've got some amazing skills. They're a quick side, and it'll be interesting to watch.
Do you think the winner of today's match, and if the Waverley Blues win today, is it going to make it not exactly tough for anyone else to win the premiership, Blake? But do you think they're going to? I mean, they're the hunted today, but if they win today, they're really going to be the hunted, aren't they? Oh,
definitely for sure. I think I touched on about it before, that every team is going to be after them. It's like most teams, you can definitely tell that if you are on top and you're winning games, people will be after you. And I think Coldstream definitely will be after him because, Coldstream are flying at the moment. It's second on ladder. No one really would think that, at the start of the year. If you're coming into the season and you'd think, fourth division side winning the premiership, then you think, there's a bit of a jump, you would say, but they've gone terrifically well. And I want to see Coldstream take it up to the mighty Waverley Blues.
How do you think, I mean, I haven't seen Coldstream play. You guys might have had a bit more of a look perhaps than me, but how do you think their style will compare today with the Waverley Blues? I mean, obviously we talked about the big ground, so they'll probably look to try and get into the wide open spaces. Do you think the game styles will be sort of worlds apart, or do you think they won't be that much different?
Well, I guess they're sort of probably relying on that sort of scoring option, as we've already alluded to, having the scoring options, and obviously so do Waverley Blues with Williamson sort of dominating when we've sort of saw him the other week. But geez, it is a big ground when you sort of sit here and have been obviously watching this reserves game, and from one side or the other, it really sort of will stretch the players, and I think also just see that that sort of fitness level that they've got. Like I said, Waverley is a quick side, so whether that extra space on this ground will tire them. Not only time will tell.
Let's have a look at some of the other matches as we continue to do so. And I guess do we start talking about South Belgrave and Ringwood in Division 2, the big top of the table clash up at the Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, Blakey, and that should be a cracking game, shouldn't it?
Oh, definitely. I think this will probably be, you would say, the second before this game. That's for sure. This game will be pretty big. I think as well. It could have huge ramification as well for finals, because if I think it's the top 5 for this competition. So, and whoever wins this could pretty much, you would say, would be the top team, I reckon, because if Ringwood lose this one, they've got a hard draw. I think they've got East Belwood the week after, so they've got Knox the week after, and then the last game of the year is against East Belwood. So
it's a nasty one to have in the last round, isn't it?
So you'd say a winnable game for Ringwood. You would say against Knox, and definitely this game will be huge as well. And for South Belgrave, if they win this one. They've pretty much got Boronia to come after that, and I think as well for after that is they've got Oakley District. So you just think it could be for both sides. Like if Ringwood win, be a big win for them because Knox and East Bell to come. But with South Belgrave, you would think if they win today, no questions asked, they'll be the top team for the.
It gives them that space and probably. It cements that top position. So look, it was an interesting game last week for South Belgrave. Against East Berwick, and obviously challenge there. So now it's sort of following up and sort of seeing where that next challenge is.
A couple of other matches of significant importance today. The Basin, who have not quite run their race, but they sort of really need to win today, but they've got a really tough assignment against East Berwick. And the Templestowe Boronia clash is a big one too.
The Templestowe Boronia one I'm interested in probably the most. Again, that sort of it really sort of makes that sort of fifth spot a challenge. It's going to be interesting for Templestowe. I think coming off some good wins and good footy. Boronia obviously had a massive loss last week, and they'll want to bounce back from that.
Templestowe have found a bit of form, Blakey, because they weren't, you'd have to say in the early part of the season, or maybe in the last month, maybe they weren't travelling that well, but they've suddenly hit a bit of a hot spot, haven't they?
Definitely, for sure. And, I think the rise of Cameron Cloak has definitely played a big part of that. And also Fogarty, like, everyone thinks, Templestowe, Cloak's playing for him. But I think the rise of Fogarty has definitely been really good for them personally as well. And if Templestowe win this and the Basin lose, Templestowe, you would say, would jump into 5. So it'll be a big game as well. And also Boronia, for Boronia's sake as well, one game, you would say, a piece. So it'll be really interesting, that's for sure, in second division when the finals heat up as well. So really interesting game, that's for sure.
Yeah, one thing, sorry, Scotty, the one thing that Boronia do have on their side, even if they got rolled today, I'm just looking at the ladder and the Basin one, is Boronia's points differential is very good. Their percentage, so they probably wouldn't lose 4th spot. So I guess not to say that they're going to lose, but if they did, they've got that sort of backup, haven't they?
Yeah, it holds them sort of in place. Like they can have that sort of that loss, but I really think they're going to be striving for this win just to really cement their place in that 4, because that takes them then to 38. It creates a little bit of a gap. It creates quite a gap between then Templestowe on 28, and then I think then you've obviously got the question of what's going to happen with the Basin today as well. So look, I'm picking Boronia. I think they'll get it, but
back on that one, I just had a look at Boronia's run home. Boronia, if they drop this one, they've got South Belgrave next week, and they've also got Knox. So you think about it, They might get one, and the South Belgrade game could be a bit hard. So they've got pretty hard run home, that's for sure. And really. So I reckon I'll go with your hat too. I think Baronia 16 points, around about that. So
Baronia have got a bit of a habit, not every year, because the last 2 years have been a bit hard to gauge with all the gaps. But going back probably maybe 2 or 3 years, they've tended to just slip up at the back end of the season and lose that crucial game when it really matters. So that'll be something that they'll really have to get themselves steeled for under Matt Clark's tutorship.
Yeah, and through that division, it's a really interesting round sort of for that sort of middle spot, and then for that top spot as well. And obviously we've got Heathmont playing Oakley, so they're probably going to get 4 points. I would say for that win, that puts them to 32. So it changes this whole fourth, fifth spot. It's going to be really interesting to sort of see.
It's like musical chairs, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
it's a cracking division.
It is. It's one of the most interesting to watch.
Do you think this is the most interesting division out of the whole leagues?
Yeah, I do. I actually put that in notes just to say that this round for that competition is huge. There's so many changes coming through, and it is musical chairs, and it'll be interesting to see where the next couple of weeks go.
Good stuff. All right, boys, well, we'll take another break. We're going to come back and talk about the third division and the fourth division, and we'll also hopefully catch up with Chad Rogers, the coach of the Coldstream side, in the not-too-distant future. This is the FNL Game Day. Back soon.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back to Coldstream as we get set for the start of this cracking third division encounter getting underway. What time is it, boys? I can't see my...
22.
1:40 it is, so we're about sort of 50 minutes away from the start of this one, and a match which is going to shape things big time. Coldstream coming to this game in second place, up against the Waverley Blues in top spot. And we're joined now by Chad Rogers, coach of the Coldstream side. Chad, thanks for your time.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me.
Big game, this one, and of course you get to play it at home. We were talking before the game. I don't know if it's just me, but it's the first time I've been up here, and the ground looks massive. Is this a bigger ground, or is it just a perception thing?
No, it's a big ground. It'd be probably other than Ringwood, it's probably the second biggest ground in the comp.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of an advantage if you use it well.
Yeah.
But Waverley play this kind of brand of football anyway, so it should be a really good contest.
Yeah. So you're expecting an open encounter today?
Yeah, I think the contest is going to be critical though. Who can get control of the midfield battle will allow the other side to get ascendancy.
Yeah, there's a few. You've got a few sort of sharpshooters on your side. I know that Darcy Fritz hasn't kicked as many this year. Has he played a different role? Because last year or the year before, he kicked about 1 million goals, but this year has he played a different role, more up the ground?
Well, we like to get all three forwards to try to rotate through who comes up high and have that connection. His work rate's a key to his football, and when he's up and about and he's working hard and getting marks up the ground, it helps him forward when he goes deep forward.
Yeah, and the other two boys, of course, you got Mitch Edmonds and Jeremy Conti have also got amongst the goals as well. So that's a good situation to have. So because we talked about the Waverley Blues, and we're not suggesting that they're Williamson centric, but they do rely a lot on him up forward.
Yeah, they've got a few. Got Perry obviously as well, and Steele. They've got a good forward bunch. So you need to have some roles for different players, and hopefully we match up quite well with them.
And we talk about the team, but sometimes it needs to come back to the coach. And congratulations in re-signing for 2023. And what dragged my attention to it, I don't know if you're a Facebook man, but the comments on social media for your re-signing is amazing. There's so much praise for you as a coach from the community. So it's obviously got a good feel around the club. And can you sort of tell us a little bit about the culture and what the supporters bring to Coldstream?
Yeah, it's a really good community club. We've been focusing on being really inclusive, and the women's team train with us on Thursday nights. So they'll do the whole warm-up with us, and then we branch off into seniors, reserves and 19s and girls all on the one ground. And, Thursday night's really big up here. Everyone's in for the meals. And, we've had a real big focus on that and making it massively inclusive for everyone.
And sorry to cut you off there. And going back to the team, you're obviously pleased with last week's win. You got the 4 points in what was sort of a tussle back and forth, and then the last quarter you really found form and obviously kicked away. What was the most pleasing thing for you though from that game? Yeah,
it's always tough going out the Scoresby. It's a different kind of ground, and they played. Credit to them, they played really good football and put it back on us. We didn't defend very well when we didn't have the footy. And so running forward, so you get caught out a bit. So when we brought the heat in the last quarter and ran both ways, transitioned well, we played a really good brand of football, and we hit the scoreboard.
First and foremost, Chad, really happy about how Mitch Edwin's playing his 100th game today. Talk us a bit an insight about him, and obviously he's a very good Coldstream player, you would say. And how's the week been up for him?
Look, he's a fantastic player. His strength and his contest work is great. Always brings the ball to the ground. And when he's on song, we're a good team. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays today.
We spoke before about the fact that you come up from 4th Division, and of course a lot of sides that make that jump up a division, they don't always adjust, but you just seem to have just hit the ground running it. You haven't had quite the same sizable scores that you've had, but to be competitive at this stage of the season, I mean, what have you done to keep yourself in that, to make yourself so competitive? Yeah,
we've just been very lucky. We've got a good, strong core group, and they play as a team, and they believe and trust each other. We haven't had a full side all year, and we've been sneaking under the radar, but I really believe our best footy is can be as good as Waverley's, whether that happens today or whether it happens hopefully in a few weeks' time. But our best footy will measure up.
So you don't think you've hit your peak yet? You still think there's room
I'm hoping
for
we haven't. It's been tough. Like every team in this division can beat everyone on their day. It's a really even competition, even though the top 4 and the bottom 5 have dropped. There's a big gap. There's actually not that massive gap. It's just a bit of quality at the top end.
You must obviously last year we touched on about how you had an incredible 2021 season and all that. How have you seen the jump from going up from Division 4 and Division 3? Like, how have you seen it?
Oh, the boys have found a massive difference. It's just the same old thing. I think as you go up divisions, your bottom 6 have to be better each time you go up. And so if you don't have an even group, you can get found out pretty quickly. And if you're not on and you're not switched on with effort and attitude, you can get found out in this competition.
And looking at today's game, how do you sort of feel like you will shut down Waverley? They're obviously it's sort of similar in matchup. Like they've got quite good scoring options. They're a very quick side. What are you sort of trying to take out of today?
I want our pressure to be right up. I want our tackling pressure to be there. And if we're doing that and transitioning both ways, we're a good chance.
All right, Chad. Well, look, thanks for talking to us. I know you're getting close to game time, so we'll let you get away. But a cracking contest on the table for today, 1v2. Best of luck, and thanks again for talking to us.
Thanks a lot for having me, boys.
Cheers. So, Chad Rogers, the coach of the Coldstream side, and of course, as we said, it's 1v2 today, so a pretty big game, this one, and we're looking forward to it. But it's a chance to go through some of the other matches in this division. And one of the other games that sort of caught my eye, I suppose, maybe Donvale, and just looking at the ladder to see who. Just wait for it to come up.
Donvale and Fentry Gully.
Donvale and Fentry Gully. I suppose that's 3v5. So that's probably the other significant encounter in today's out of today's matches.
Yeah, Donvale's only just sort of been scraping the wins when they get them, and I think that's probably going to be a little bit of a challenge today. We've spoken about how well Fentry Gully have started to finish the season. They obviously had the loss against Warrandyte, and that's pushed them out of finals contention. But they're still a very good team, Fentry Gully, and I believe that Fentry Gully will probably get this win today, just to sort of continue to shake things up a little bit.
If Fentry Gully do fall over today, you've still got the likes of you've got Whitehorse Pioneers and Scoresby sort of lurking in there, Blake. Do you give them any chance of sneaking in?
No, I think the top 4 is set. I really, as much as I like to say, like if you think about Warrandyte, they're sitting, Donvale and Warrandyte are sitting with 4 losses, and then the next best is 8. So
it's top 4, isn't it? I was thinking it was top 5, so it does pretty much say it's a lock, isn't it? Really, pretty much.
So I think
it's done. It's just sort of like I was saying, giving Fentry Gully, it can sort of change the shape of where the teams are going to finish. Obviously, if Donvale lose today, if Warrandyte get up, that then leapfrogs them and creates a closer gap. But if Coldstream then loses today, so look, it's the division sort of it's just where those teams are going to fall between second and fourth now.
Yeah. What about Division 4? I guess probably the most interesting clash today
100%
would be Surrey Park and Churnside Park.
Oh, yeah, definitely for sure. I think this division here, obviously without Sylvan having the bye, I think this is probably the most evenest round, you would say. Like, all games are very interesting. Like, I think you touched on about Surrey Park and Churnside Park. That will probably be the match of the round for Division 4, you would say. But last week on the when we were on the radio and we were at the East Bell game, I said it's the pressure is on Churnside Park, but Forest Hill just absolutely turned that off. Like, they literally they acted like they were going to be in contention for finals. Like, to win by about 80 points, I think it was.
Extraordinary, wasn't it?
It was just extraordinary. I think they kicked about 10 goals, one behind, to Churnside yet to score at one point. So I definitely think the pressure is on Churnside at the moment, because I think it's top 2, I'm pretty sure, like for the double chance, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So let's say if Surrey Park win this game today, like, they could jump in second place.
Correct. And I spoke about it on the podcast. Like, I think Churnside's got some real questions, because when they leak goals and they lose well.
Yep.
They got absolutely towed up by Sylvan. Obviously the week before we're looking at, and this game with Surrey Park, the way they're sort of playing and sort of that change in sort of game plan, I think could be a really interesting game. I sort of am backing probably Surrey Park. I just sort of feel like, they've had some easier competition, so I guess it's a nice challenge coming up against Churnside. But I think, Churnside just need to look at, when the game isn't going their way, how can they not sort of, leak so many goals?
Yeah. Forest Hill and Kilsyth is the other big game today too, 4v5, so there's a bit of riding on that one, Blake.
Oh, definitely for sure. I think this game, Forest Hill and Kilsyth, you would want to be a Kilsyth supporter, to be fair, today, because if you think about, I'm looking at the ladder now, if Forest Hill lose this game, they're both neck and neck. Like, they're both equal wins and losses. And I think Forest Hill, they proved a lot of people, you would say wrong. You would kind of say, like, you got to agree with that. Like, they proved a lot of people wrong, and they are hit a challenge. Like, and if you have a look at Kilsyth's run, if they get up this week, they've got another warning next week, and then the week after, the week after that, they've got Croydon off. So you think about it, if Kilsyth win, this will be massive for them, because you would pretty much say, I don't want to, go overconfidence wise here, but if they pretty much win, you would say they're locking 4th spot. So it's a massive way for Kilsyth. But if Forest Hill get up today, the top 4 set in Division 4, you would say.
It's interesting, isn't it, with Forest Hill? Because, I mean, again, I'm going back a few years, but, they were perennial finalists. They got into a couple of grand finals. They got beaten there. They seem to be, at some stage, they were going to win the flag, but they've just sort of hovered around, and here we are sort of talking about them potentially missing finals, Scotty, which is almost unheard of, isn't it?
Yeah, correct, and I think that's the thing. But it makes for such an interesting sort of finish to the season between Kilsyth and Forest Hill. The only thing that obviously is going for Forest Hill is a little bit better percentage, but interesting sort of way for Kilsyth to sort of finish out. They obviously probably ruined the opportunity that they had last week to really make sure that it was within striking distance. But look, they're still alive, and it still gives them enough chance.
Yeah, and just briefly, I mean, we won't say can anyone beat them, because when you get to grand finals, anything can happen. But as Sylvan, I mean, they are pretty much the red-hot favourites for this division. Who do you see as the side that could knock them off in the grand final if they make it?
Well, if you think about it, Surrey Park were the only team that has knocked off Sylvan. So I think I reckon for my grand final, I've done the whole season what I reckon grand finals are, and in Division 4, I think it'll be a Sylvan v Surrey Park grand final. I think Surrey Park will knock off Transide today, and I definitely see Surrey Park and Sylvan as my grand final prediction.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Blake. Like I said, I think Surrey, the way they sort of just changed a little bit of their game plan and everything, it's really putting them in a good contention heading into finals sort of series, and having that confidence to know that they can beat them, because every other side, like we're saying Transide Park, the times that they've played Sylvan have got towed up,
yeah.
And so it sort of knocks your confidence a little bit when you're going up against them. So to have that going in, I think gives them a real good confidence.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because we're sitting here writing Churnside Park off, and they're sitting in second place, but it sometimes can be that way. It can be a bit of an anomaly on the ladder, can't it?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Like I said last week, I don't know, like, home ground advantage, and you're playing the 4th side who are, you would say an average, kind of side, like coming into the game, obviously, and to lose by that margin, I pretty much, like I said, I'm not ruling them off. I'm just saying they can do better. They can do better than what they served up last week, because last week it was just terrible, like, just honestly. But I honestly, I don't really like ruling clubs out, but if I had to today, this game here, if they lose this one, Churnside Park, I reckon I'm ruling them out of contention. Yep.
Because what did we look at what Churnside have in their in their fixtures sort of coming up?
So they've got Sylvan next week.
Yeah.
So as well, and then they've got the bye. So they've got the bye.
All
right.
So you've got to think they're at long odds to win next week.
Yeah,
and then they have the bye. So that, for them, really, it makes today's game absolutely vital, doesn't it?
100%. Like, this game could be, it could honestly be, it would have huge ramifications.
You're right, because it pushes them down. If Surrey gets it, they go to 40 points. Churnside stay on 44. Sylvan then next week, and you would say that they probably won't win that in sort of current form. And then Surrey Park will probably get another win in that next period. So it takes them to 44. And Surrey Park's percentage is huge. It's 180, whereas Churnside's 108.
They can't miss top 4, but as you say, I mean, it's a big jump to drop out of that top 2 and get the double chance and suddenly be playing Saturday footy.
Yeah, just also say that Churnside Park have also won their 2 games against Surrey Park this year. They've already beaten them twice, I'm pretty sure, and both at Surrey Park too. Okay. So
all right.
It's a pretty much, you would say, home away from home, pretty much. So, But no, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. But I do see Surrey Park winning this one.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, boys, we're a couple of minutes away from taking our final break before we introduce the core team. So just an opportunity maybe just to go back and have a bit of a look at this game today. It's going to be a fantastic day, isn't it? It's a beautiful day up here at Coldstream, my virgin visit to this part of the world. And despite getting lost, it's great to be here, and I think it's going to be a fantastic game this afternoon. I still think the Waverley Blues will get it done. But you've got to mount a reasonable case for Coldstream, Blake, don't you?
Yeah, I think they've been the biggest riser, I think, to be fair, other than Rover this year. But I think Coldstream have been the biggest risers this year because, from a 4-division club, it's a bit of a jump. Oh, no, we touched on about that. But they have really tested a lot of people saying, hey, we're here to play. And it's really good to see. And they're not relying on the usual players that they are. I think it's an all-team game. Like I always say, there's no iron team. So, and I think they're doing really...
You invent that one, did you?
I like to say cliches all the time, like saying a few cliches here and there. But like I said, I think this game here that we've got today, I could see it 15 points or under. I reckon Coldstream, they're up to
which
it.
way? Coldstream?
No, Waverley. I think Waverley with the class they have, I think they'll just get home. But like I said, Coldstream, all I want them to do is push them, just keep competing, keep fighting with them, and just be with them the whole game. Not let them get over the top of them really easily. So I'm really looking forward to it. I reckon Waverley for me.
Scotty,
quickly. Yeah, it's hard to knock, obviously, Waverley with what they've done. I think last week Coldstream maybe a little bit lucky and probably, in that last quarter to run over the top of Scoresby. It was a really sort of tight tussle, and Scoresby were up by 2 goals heading into the last quarter. So they can't afford to have that against Waverley. They need to obviously be sort of in the contest and not sort of give that opportunity to sort of for Waverley to kick away. But yeah, I think I have to lead towards Waverley. Probably by about 15 points.
15 points. All right. Well, I've got Waverley Blues by roughly the same. I think they'll get up by 2 or 3 goals. But either way, it's going to be a fantastic game today. That is us. We are done for the pre-game show. Thanks to Blake and the whole team across the pre-game here, Scotty and myself. And we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and introduce you to the core team for the big clash this afternoon, Coldstream against the Waverley Blues.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers, How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Welcome to Coldstream Reserve for the EFNL game of the round. We have a Division 3 clash between Coldstream and the Waverley Blues. Thank you very much to the pre-game team for giving us some insightful conversations. With me today, calling this match, I'm Jared Beanland. With me today, calling this match is Trent. How are you doing, Trent?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Jared. It's good to be here. Melbourne's turned it on, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's such a nice day. It's not exactly Coldstream today, thankfully, for us.
I like that one. Starting off well there, Joe.
Thank you very much, Scott. As you were on the pre-game before, welcome back. And Blake Tennant, of course. And down on the very far end there, of course, this is an audio medium, so like you can't. That's irrelevant to you guys. But Ryan Long has also joined us for the first time today. How you doing, Ryan?
Thanks, Jared. Yeah, big game, Division 3, huge clash in terms of the finals. Yeah, probably pretty sure that these two will probably meet at some stage. So a big chance for Coldstream to test themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very keen to see how this one plays out. Two high-scoring teams, of course. And Coldstream just coming up from Division 4 last year. So really, really good opportunity for them to really stake a claim on their premiership chances this year against such a strong Waverley Blues outfit. Trent, how are you seeing this one today? What are your general thoughts on the match?
Yeah, well, it's set up to be a cracker, isn't it? Two, like you said, top of the table clash. They met in round 7. It went the way of the Waverley Blues. But we've got the big wide ground here at Coldstream Reserve, and I'm hoping the Cougars can take advantage of that today. I'll be backing in the underdogs.
Yeah, absolutely. So a tip for Coldstream there right off the bat from Trent. So Scott, if we're looking down the team sheets here, just to sort of bring some a more micro level of analysis, who do we reckon are going to stand up for both teams if either were to win?
Yeah, we were obviously talking pre-game about Darcy Fritsch and Conti for Coldstream. They had a great game last week, scoring 6 goals both to have a comfortable win over Scoresby in the end. And last time we saw Waverley Williamson had a field day out against Donvale and scored really, really well from that game. It was a quick pace that Waverley sort of played with. It'll be interesting. It's the first time I've seen Coldstream live, so I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can match it. It is a massive ground, like it's huge, sitting here and sort of looking from side to side. So I don't know whether that then will slow sort of Waverley or at least test their fitness a little bit more.
For sure.
But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game. I'm hoping of some solid goals.
Mm-hmm. And joining us as well today, who will be, I think, in the stats centre, is Paul Iaconi. Paul, how you going, man?
Good day, Jared. Good day, boys. Cracking day for footy.
Absolutely, it is. What's your thoughts on this game today?
I reckon it'll be a close game, this one. Before Waverley beat them earlier in the year, but big wide ground. I'm going to tip an underdog as well. I'm going to go Coldstream.
I'm loving all these Coldstream tips. This is, definitely starting to make things interesting.
Different from the pre-game.
Absolutely. Blake, what about yourself, mate? Because, as Paul mentioned, it was a close one earlier on in the year, and I did hear from a couple of sources, as I was going around the rooms earlier, that Coldstream did have quite a few injuries that day.
Yeah, as well, and also having the as Chad said before, he said that they haven't had a team where they've actually been at full strength. So it's going to be interesting to see where they're going to be at. And I definitely think Coldstream can take it up to Waverley, but I'm still going to go with Coldstream, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. Wow. So I feel like I almost surprisingly have to be a bit of a contrarian here to think that Waverley Blues might still, be able to command, command the flow of the play and make sure that they come away with the victory. So, gents, just looking at I suppose each line of the ground, defence, middle, and forward. Where do we reckon the strengths lie for both teams, Trent?
Well, I think defensively for the Waverley Blues, they've got the likes of Simon Hawkins down back, as well as Ben Turner. So there's a lot of key forwards, a lot of matchups for them to sort of, or match up on, I guess, for Coldstream and their forwards. With Darcy Fritsch not playing last time these two sides met. So that's certainly one to keep an eye on, the defensive matchups with Coldstream's forwards.
Yeah, I think the one there that needs to be mentioned as well is Jack Strongman. He's had a pretty good year down as a sort of like a key defender for Waverley Blues. We saw them, of course, at Donvale. Strongman played against, he was the one against Duncan, so had a bit of a dirty day as Duncan kicked about 5 on him. So, yeah, we're just going to go to a break. No, sorry. We're not going to go to a break. So, Ryan, what do you think of the matchups here today?
Oh, well, I think that it's going to be hard to stop the forward attack that Waverley Blues have, especially Perry Williamson. I think he kicked 8 or something the last time these two met. They're just going to have to limit their influence, and you can do that through the middle of the ground and don't allow them to have the free ball movement. But as we've seen all year, in conditions like this, they're a very hard side to stop, and that's going to be quite tough for Coldstream. The one side that beat them was in round 1, Warrandyte, and that was shocking conditions. It was raining all day, so aside if you can beat them, maybe the wide ground might help. Just on the score centre for a second, I don't know if this is coming early. Blake, are Montrose playing an early game today?
No, that is not correct.
Okay,
I actually had to look at that before.
So the score of 5 straight 30 to Lilydale Zip, that's not a correct score?
Blake put that in himself just to get a bit of talk and make sure we were speaking about it.
You would have mentioned it. So.
If you saw the 19 score, you would definitely say that the 5 goals to 1.
So it's a bit of an overflow, is it? They're just sort of like giving them the benefit of an earlier game.
Just giving them a head start.
Yep.
No, that's funny. No, for a moment I thought Blake had hacked into the back end of the FNL website and started posting some favourable scores for the Tros.
Yes.
So yeah, no, definitely. Darcy Fritsch at one end is the key for Coldstream. At the other, we saw, as mentioned before, Williamson's. He had a day out. So to go to you, Scott, who do you reckon will go to Williamson, do you reckon?
I was just going to say more so about that forward pressure with Waverley. Like they do such a good option of lowering the eyes. They're one of the sides, especially in this division, where it's probably a little bit more, bomb it in and hope for a mark and go from there. But watching a few of their games, they really present well up that quickness that they offer. They'll lead to the ball and look for those better options up forward. They're probably unselfish in that regard, and sort of obviously on their day, or Williamson on his day can score quite well. They do have other options available and present and create those themselves.
Yeah, for sure. I think like one of the things they're able to do really well is create space around that half forward line for the lead up option. For a quick kick when they are lowering their eyes, for sure. So, if we look at Coldstream's lineup on the other hand, who are some names that stand out to you, Trent, that might have to really turn it on to take it up to the Blues?
Yeah, well, I think the midfield battle's probably one to keep an eye on today, with the likes of Darcy Carrigan running around in there. He's probably leading their best and fairest at this point in time in the season, so the matchup on him will be crucial. And then there's synergy to go forward as well to sort of link up with obviously the likes of Darcy Fritsch, who's probably dominated a lot of the pre-talk.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so as well as probably Jeremy Conti, of course. So those two, it's like a they're probably two to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Conti's a really interesting one because he's not a name that sort of like came across our eyes until his game last week against Scoresby, kicking 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so huge effort from him in a very high-scoring and entertaining game against a team, Scoresby, that has sort of they've flattered to deceive a little bit this year. But it are always good at home, so something that Coldstream really had to contend with. So if we look ahead to sort of like the finals and the permutations, as the word that we really like to throw about here on the media team, Coldstream winning here will bring them into second, and I believe the double chance as well, given the top 4 situation. Blake, do you reckon? Can Coldstream, if they topple Waverley Blues here, do you reckon they can actually make a charge towards the flag?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's an even comp, that's for sure. I think the only thing is the top 4 is set, and I think we're up to round 16 coming into today. So, look, if you want to like, premierships aren't obviously won in July, of course. A lot of people do say that, but it's going to be an even game. And if Coldstream do get up and win this today, they do have contention. Like, they are in contention to win the flag. And like you said, it could be anyone's game. Finals, they can be known as a different game. So it'll be really interesting to see how. I really want to see how good Coldstream are. Like, obviously, they're flying. They've been promoted into this division, and they've done really well. So,
yeah,
look forward to it.
Absolutely. Do we know actually where the Division 3 finals are going to be held? Ringwood, I'm hearing.
Yeah,
okay.
Park, yeah.
So quite a bigger ground as well, which may end up favouring Coldstream once they actually make it to that stage. So perhaps something interesting to sort of keep in mind, even though Coldstream, I think were a little understated perhaps throughout the early and middle parts of the year, and now really starting to rise to prominence. Maybe they're peaking at the right time, and we'll have the conditions to continue that once the finals hit. So looking at the Waverley Blues, on the other hand, would it be disappointing for them, Scott, to drop this game?
Not so much. Obviously, we were talking to Tom beforehand, and they obviously want to continue sort of keeping that winning form. They've got an interesting sort of season end. They had the bye last week. They got this week. Then they got another bye. So they've got room sort of to move in it. But look, I think they would still want to just keep their winning form. It keeps teams at bay. It then makes teams question what they were doing leading into final sides. Whereas obviously if Coldstream get the win today, it gives then Coldstream a sort of probably a good blueprint as to what to do looking forwards, because obviously that's the way it's looking in towards sort of finals. So no, it's not going to be the worst, but look, I think they'd still want their 4 points and take it into the bye.
Yep, absolutely. It's and I suppose with that weird bye situation that Waverley Blues have ahead of them, any sort of win and any momentum that they can take from that will be important. So it's going to be interesting to see how they take that forward.
Yeah, Tom hadn't sort of, he didn't sort of say the buys were a bad thing. He sort of felt like it gave them a good sort of time to look at those players that either needed that break. Obviously with flu and COVID still going around, it allowed them to get those players back that they might have missed out on. So it's probably put them in a good spot, if they can sort of, I guess, time it right in regards to their illness, if that's even possible. But it just gives them at least a little bit more flexibility and gives them that rest going into finals.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we have our boundary riders on standby. John, for the first time today and the first time in the media team, John O'Ven is on the boundary line. How you doing, mate?
Good afternoon, gents. I'm doing great. What a day. It is absolutely perfect. Now, I mean, I live a long way away from here, but I tell you what, the conditions make up for the fact that I've had to travel a fair while. And, as we're just sorting out some final team changes to our team sheets, I believe, Brent O'Leary's out for Sapanchi, so in the Waverley Blues, in case you guys haven't spoken about it already, which I'm sure you have. But a fantastic day out, and I'll tell you what, we're in for a good day, lads.
Yeah, absolutely. And down there as well, Besto, he was on the pre-game show as well. Besto, what are your thoughts on this game today?
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker, as we discussed during the pre-game, as obviously the late change with Sapanchi out and Brent O'Leary in. But, you'd go a long way to go past the Waverley Blues. They've had such a fantastic season. They're top of the ladder. But I'm not writing Coldstream off. They do play this ground well, as we mentioned in pre-game. It's a big ground. They've got a good side. But for me, I think the Waverley Blues by maybe a couple of kicks.
Yeah, so we've got. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised at how many tips we did have for Coldstream down here in the van. So it's nice to see that Brett is getting on board with the Waverley Blues tip, because I wouldn't want to be the only one, just in case Coldstream do end up taking it here. So as we're just about to head to a break, we'll see you on the other side for the match of the round here at Coldstream.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together. At
Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to the Eastland match of the day here, a Division 3 matchup here at Coldstream Reserve between Coldstream and the Waverley Blues. Fascinating clash here between the top and the second position teams. We're just about to get underway as we throw down to the boundary really quickly to John O'Van.
Toss of the coin has been won and done, and the Waverley Blues will be kicking to the right of screen, the car park end.
Thank you very much, Jono. As the players just about to take their positions. Guys, any final thoughts?
Too close again, or is that right?
No, I think obviously, yeah, like I said, I don't know if you got around to me because I've spoken pre-game, but I'm picking Waverley by about 15,
Whoops, sorry.
15 points. So it should be a very close contest.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're just about to get underway. Trent, your first game calling in the senior men's.
Yep, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Perfect. So you can absolutely start us off here at Coldstream Reserve.
So the Eastland match of the round. Centre bounce coming up. 2 rucks will go in it. Slap forward by Coldstream. And collecting it there was Craig. His kick forward was smothered and bodies just pile on, although Coldstream was ripped in a really good tackle from Hale it was, although a free kick's been awarded. So the umpire points the way of Coldstream. And the Cougars with a chance to go inside forward 50. It's a long ball into the path of a leading forward. It's off hands. Spilling the mark there was Fritsch. He tries to burst through, claiming it there, and they can exit by foot through the centre corridor, although it's going to come straight back the way of Verstagene. Flying high there, off hands, was a defender from the Waverley Blues, and we'll have a stoppage, Jared.
That was a good tackle by Craig, just locking things up there. Got a ball up in the forward 50 for Coldstream. Nearly taking it was Hatch, couldn't quite take it out. Going to ground there, Waverley Blues. Oh, it spilt out there to Deacon. He's not going to take it. Shield tackled, swung around. Ball finds its way back into the pack that had somehow already formed. And we'll get yet another ball up. So good pressure early on here in this game. Tapped down by Waverley Blues. Craig will rove it though. Knocked over. Set upon, feasted upon by Waverley Blues defenders. And
Craig's
we'll have
been in the thick of it. He's had probably 2 tackles there and kept that forward pressure.
Yep, he's looking good. He's had a good past couple of weeks, has Craig. Tap down goes straight to Waverley Blues. They find some space here. It's going to come onto the wing. Ton Steele set himself, but it was a good mark coming over the top. That was well done by Lachlan Koga. Just starting to work his way into the game now with that possession. Great smother, though. He had some indecision on his face there, Koga. It was a good smother by Hale. This could set Waverley Blues up here. Here goes McNamara, the captain. And a great kick. Lowered the eyes fantastically. Well done to him. Kicked it to Perry, Matt Perry, his co-captain. And Perry centered it up. No mark taken there. It was a flying shot at goal by Waverley Blues. And they get the first one on the board. And it was Josh Williamson. We saw him kick a bag earlier this year against Donvale, and he gets the first one.
Yeah, just with that one there, you definitely see, Lucky Koga marked it. Great mark, you would say, but he just had all the time in the world. He should have just took the kick on and did that. And as soon as that happened, it was just all running traffic there for Waverley Blues, which was really good to see, and great goal there.
Absolutely.
So the 2 forwards, Williamson and Perry, linking up there to draw first blood here at Coldstream Reserve.
We're usually pretty busy after the game because we're doing interviews and stuff.
So 1-0. It'll be Nick Dorr to toss it high again. The 2 rucks will fly. Coldstream won the hit out again, and they can win the clearance. Driving a low ball forward, it'll dribble onto the far wing side. Leading the race there's Turner. He can't collect it cleanly. He shovels a handball out, and his teammates set upon, and a good tackle by Fritsch it was, who's doing some pressure work up the ground. So we'll have a ball up, 60 out from Coldstream's home. There's Craig on his hands and knees again. Just threw it out, and the umpire's aware to it. It'll be a free kick to the Waverley Blues. So the whistle blown, and it'll be take 2.
It was an otherwise intelligent little touch there by Craig, because he knew that he had a guy running behind. It was just unfortunate the way the ball came out of his hand.
Terrible kick forward. It'll
just a worm burner there.
Dribbled all of 10 metres. That's generous. And it'll be another ball up. So on the 50 arc for Coldstream, the home side, the ruckman just pushes him out the way illegally, according to the umpire. It'll be a Waverley Blues free kick going to the big ruckman, who's not kind enough to turn his back on us.
It's Perry.
It's Perry it is. So he's in 2 minds, and he just, geez, they've had trouble exiting.
Yeah, what's
to start this game?
Just that indecision. They obviously just need to look for that longer option at the moment, because they are trying to lower the eyes, but not doing the kick sufficiently.
Coldstream are wise to that, aren't they? to the way that Waverley Blues are playing. So we're back on the boundary, throw in here. Perry tried to work his way to the front, couldn't quite, but he's going to attack it again. Keeps it in front of himself, tried to protect the ball there from Griffin. It was well done by Deacon to get a hand involved. Griffin gets the handball away to Craig, couldn't handle it. Shield does, just missed his teammate in Verstegen with the handball. Looking at ground level there, great tackle there on the coach Langford, and it'll be in the back actually. So Langford, playing coach today here for Waverley Blues, gets a kick. That was a well-directed kick there to Hawkins. Takes the mark. He tries to play on, gets a left foot ball towards, I think must be Williamson there. Comes out to try and meet it, but Ton Steele was there as well. Little handball over the top. Coldstream, however, they're standing firm in defence. Oh, just a bit of a juggler there to Michael Pesamenti as he gets it into the pocket there. Little kick over the top. Now comes to Griffin. They're going to come down the near side wing here once they start attacking. Griffin took a little bit of time to get up. Little kick towards Fritsch there, the target. Takes an easy mark there out in front of Strongman. And he'll be looking for some options there. Will he go in board? Will he go down the line? Looks like it's going to be down the line. He saw an option there. It was Conti. Couldn't quite take the mark. So Waverley Blues now through Butcher. And now that was well done by Hatch. Gets a kick towards Ton Steele. He was the target. Crashed the pack. Couldn't quite take it. Scooped up there by Hassan. Oh, the kick smothered though for Waverley Blues. Hassan gets it again. Oh, his kick was cut off once again by Playstead. Ton Steele gets a kick out wide. We'll see where it ends up. It's going to be Waverley Blues once again on it. It's a kick towards goal. Is it going to be there? No, it's going to drift just to the right, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. Unfortunate for Waverley Blues. They're in their pocket.
So right forward pocket, deep inside forward 50 for the Blues. And it'll be tossed back into play once it's been fetched from over the fence. So
it's going to take a little bit, eh?
One straight to start proceedings here at Coldstream Reserve.
Normally they have a heap behind the goal, but they've only got one man chasing it, and he was a little bit reluctant to get that.
So here we go now. Thrown back into play. The two rucks will go at it. Winning the hit out again there was the ruckman in Lehman. And it's dribbled forward into the path of Coldstream in Price. And he gets it back with a 1-2, although his teammates collected high, and it'll be a free kick Coldstream. So an opportunity to go down the line. They've been defending grimly the last couple of minutes. He sends a high up and under. Waverley Blues with the outnumber aerially, and they can fight for it at ground level. Although set upon there was a Coldstream midfielder. Gang tackled.
Carrigan, the Coldstream midfielder.
So we'll have a ball up, Jared.
So tap down there. Shield nearly took it. He was nearly collected high. So it comes out here. Mohammed gets the kick down, and Playstead takes the mark out in front. Will he be too far out to score? We'll see. He seems to be setting himself up, but it could be a setup kick to the top of the goal square. No, I reckon he thinks he's got it. Definitely going for goal here. Daniel Playstead. Played well earlier in the year against Donvale, the game where we were at. Deliberate run in. Starts at left, but it is coming back, and it is a goal. Waverley Blues get the second on the board. Playstead with his first. And it's a great start here at Coldstream Reserve for the away team.
Just for the record, I never doubted him, Jared.
Boundary.
Let's go down to the boundary with Brett Beston.
Just interesting talking about the wind. You saw that one sort of start out to the left and come back. There was a bit of a breeze, and it's kind of behind the Waverley Blues in this first quarter. Not too significant, but there's enough there just to make a bit of a difference.
Thanks for that, Besto. So definitely something to keep in mind there, the windy conditions.
No doubt. So 2 straight the way of the Blues. And we'll have another ball up. So the 2 rucks will fly. It's palmed down the throat of Waverley Blues midfielders, and they share it round. A long ball forward now. The shortest route to home will be cut off, though. Lands on the chest of Pesamenti, who's been lively early. He goes laterally to his teammate on the far side in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And he can go short to his teammate in McInerney. So McInerney has it. He's called to play on. Wheels around on his preferred left. Goes down the line and standing in front there, Playstead. We've called his name a few times.
He's got to come back behind his mark there before he played on.
So a good intercept mark there. Just lobbed on the chest of Playstead. He's got an option inboard and finds Hatch well. So Long now. They go deep inside forward 50, or on the arc rather. Trying to spin out of traffic there and doing it well was Kinsella. And his ball inboard finds
It's Mohammed.
Yeah, great option there. Lowered the eyes and found a better scoring option.
So Mohammed fancies his chances from the angle. 40 out he sits. For the perfect start, it has to be said. Proving our tipsters wrong pre-game. Mohammed.
Some of them.
Boundary.
Strolls in and his kick is straight over the goal umpire's hat. There's their third for the afternoon. Mohammed's first.
A great kick there. That's what you want from your forwards. And look, they found that with that better option.
Let's quickly hit up best over the boundary.
Yes, boys, I'd like to point out that I did pick the Waverley Blues before the game started.
I was with you, Besto.
Let's go to Ryan Long in the score centre.
Just a couple of Premier Division scores so far. Park Orchards 2-2-14 lead Vermont 1 behind, and Bourne with the first against Noble Park 1-2-8 to 2 behinds.
Cool. Thank you very much, Ryan. So, the start. So
Just with that as well, they're really doing well with the short chip kicks as well, which is really winning the game right now as we speak.
It's hurting Coldstream, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a similar start to what we saw Waverley Blues, as I keep referring back to that game with Donvale. The tap down went slightly the way of Coldstream, as we'll have a ball up. Let's quickly go to Paul Iaconi in the stat centre.
Well, Waverley are getting Coldstream on the turnover here. 3 turnovers from Coldstream and a couple of forward 50 entries, which have been pretty even, 4-3 in favour of Waverley, but they've had 2 marks inside 50 Waverley to none for Coldstream.
There was another forward 50 entry there for Waverley Blues, not marked. And the Waverley Blues forward was set upon by Coldstream and will get a ball up there in the pocket. Tap down comes from, I think that must have been Price, goes to Craig. Now a Carrigan on the outside, just gets it down to right half back. Edmonds was there leading up, but nothing doing as the ball trickles over the line. Coldstream doing their best to escape defence.
Paul, when you get a moment, can you tell us the tackles? Chad Rogers spoke pre-game about wanting to apply the pressure, and that's sort of how he felt they were going to stay in it. They have applied some tackles, but probably need a few more.
Carrigan just out of the centre, out of the clearance there, gets a kick down, bit of a scrappy one. Just an unsure situation there for Coldstream. Didn't really link up properly, and now as a result, it's going to be Butcher to get the ball forward for Waverley Blues. Crashing into it. Must have been Williamson there, I think. Laid the retaliation tackle. Wasn't Williamson. It was Kinsella. And we'll get a ball up on the arc there as the Waverley Blues just attempt to push forward again and make the most of this momentum that they've had. 3 straight 18 to Coldstream. No score just yet as we get yet another ball up.
Well, speaking on those tackles that Scotty was talking about, Coldstream lead in that department 7-4.
So here we go now. As the ball's just flying about and a gang tackle there. Bodies just pile on top. Centre half forward. It sits the way of the Waverley Blues. So it'll be tossed high once again. Smith there gets the hit out into the path of a Waverley Blues midfielder who was held. So
again, they're applying the pressure and getting those tackles, but just giving away a silly free kick there for that harder pressure at the ball.
So English now lowers the eyes and with a drilling ball lands in the outstretched hands of Mohammed. So directly in front, 20 out. You can almost pencil this in.
Is that the Moz going in early because he did kick it straight last time. He's in probably a better angle than last time as well.
So Mohammed now will stroll in once more for back-to-back goals against his name. Lines up and makes no mistake.
No Moz.
Waverley Blues have their 4th.
There's a great kicking action, and it's such a good option to have up forward for them. At the moment, though, Coldstream need to find a goal.
Inside 50. How many inside 50s at Coldstream?
Yep, absolutely they do. It's starting to look a little bit grim already. 4 straight to no goals currently. And Coldstream are going to need to find something here at home to really, really boost them. So it's Sheldon Smith into the ruck here for the Cougars. He does get the tap down. Straight to Witchell. Tries to fight it his way out. I think it might have been Deacon, actually. Carrigan at the bottom of that pack. And we'll get another ball up there.
Just before you were saying, Jared, as well, I liked how the Waverley Blues are also lowering their eyes as well when they're trying to lead up into a forward.
Yeah, it's definitely been a feature of the way they play this season. As Coldstream go forward, Fritsch outstretched arms, but actually behind him taking the mark instead. It's got to be Koga, I think. As he turns his back, indeed it is. Koga, of course, of the Lachlan variety. Back into the side these past few weeks and starting to make an impact. So, what impact can he make on this game? Can he kick Coldstream's first goal, and a much-needed goal at that? Deliberate walk in here for Koga. And it's online, it's straight. Coldstream get the one they needed.
Yeah, finally that goal we were just talking about, that'll at least settle some nerves, but need to keep applying this pressure and just trying to get it out of the centre probably a little bit more.
Craig's the main one that's stepping up. That is Lachlan Craig for Coldstream.
Yeah, he's playing well out of the centre and applying that the pressure for the tackle, so definitely keeping it up there.
Coldstream, they're winning the ball out the middle, but that was the we've seen already in this game 3 marks inside 50 to 1. That it looks like there'll be a lot of goals kicked from that department today. In the clearances, I don't know if I've mentioned that, but I might mention it again for the benefit of our viewers. Coldstream lead the clearances 4 to 2. Sorry.
So thanks, Paul. As the ball's dribbled out onto the far wing side while you're speaking there. And the Bendigo Bank scoreboard there. It's 1 straight for Coldstream. Took them to the 16th minute mark to get there first. And Waverley Blues have already piled on 4 straight. So it'll be tossed back into play now. 2 rucks will go at it. Playstead palms it down the throat of his opposition players. Bodies just pile on there. Whistle's blown. And it'll be a free kick. So the way of Waverley Blues. And they can drill a low ball inside forward 50, although cutting it off there was Lehman, the ruckman, who just drifted back into the hole and intercepted it. So he can drive it back down the line again. The pack will form, and the tall timber of the Waverley Blues player there holds onto a good mark. He goes inboard now, and it'll be cut off. So he can wheel and go. He's quick to play on. He's a bit indecisive as he goes down the line again. Turnover city at the moment, as it'll be coming back from whence it came. So down the line again, off hands. And the big ruckman Lehman will have to go to work at ground level. Shovels a handball out to his teammate in Verstegen, who just floats it on the head of his teammate. A bit of a hospital pass there. And Waverley Blues with an opportunity to go inside 50 again, although Lehman, he's stood tall down back for Coldstream, Jared.
He's proving important, isn't he? Just touches the ball on the ground as he played on. Trying to find a little intelligent kick out there. It did find Pesamenti. He passed it off, and now the kick goes towards the wing. Chasing it is Fritsch. Can he keep it in? No, just shoveled over the line by Strongman.
Fair boundary.
Let's go down to the boundary with John O'Ven.
Just adding to what Besto was saying about the wind conditions, on a perfect day like this, it's going to go on and off, but there's a definite breeze to the right side of the field.
Thanks for that, Jono. Lehman just tapped it down. Burying his way underneath was Isley.
Great tackle by Fresher there.
Yeah, it was a solid hit. So the pressure of Coldstream that they're needing to find being met somewhat here by Waverley Blues, of course. Coming out with it was Deacon. Got a handball away. Bit of an up and under kick there. Onto it was English. English gets a high ball towards left half forward. Ton Steele nearly took a solid mark, but it's fallen for Coldstream here as they get tackled over the line And we'll get another ball in. Let's go to Ryan Long with some scores.
Just back in Premier Division, South Korea now to 11-point lead, 12-1. And back in Division 3, Scoresby getting the first goal against Warrandyte, 6-1.
It'll be interesting to see if Scoresby can upset Warrandyte again, as they have, I think, a couple times over the past couple seasons, as the ball then resulted in a free kick here to Nick Parry, the Waverley Blues ruckman. Left foot ball towards goal. It's just going to drift right, however. I didn't realise he was having a shot at goal. That was a long, long kick. And it's going to be the game's first blemish as Waverley Blues move to 4-1-24. Coldstream 1 straight 6.
Just with that one as well, like the defence down there for Coldstream was, they need to get numbers back to the ball, which is, they need to just get someone on the line and rush it through because that ball just rolled.
So running onto it there was the Coldstream player, although his kick fell short of his mark, and just dumping a long one there was Waverley Blues. It'll fall at the feet of Price, who can just try and tap it to his own advantage, although diving on top of it there was McNamara. And a throw's been picked out by the umpire. It'll go the way of Coldstream. So taking the kick there is Cameron Shield. He's got options down the line. He'll head in that direction. He's ball to Craig, spilling the mark, and off one step, his kick smothered. They can try and work it out by hand, although the slow there was the midfielder for Coldstream. And now English can get the 1-2, linking up with his teammate. Muhammad getting involved once more. He's got an option out wide in space in Meyer, and he can thump a long one into the path of his leading forward.
This is Williamson.
Who can wheel and turn. So Williamson just dumps a long one. Coldstream have the numbers, and now a high up and under from Deacon. Someone mark this, and I'll tell you what, it's been marked by Waverley Blues.
I think it was Fresher might have taken that mark.
Number 17, Fresher. There's a high up and under.
Yeah, it is. Great grab there. Great grab.
Courageous, wasn't it?
Feels like a Nick Reebok mark. Yeah, that reminds me of that.
Just threw himself at it. Back with the flight. Not quite up to Rewalt's standards, but he strolls in and the kick's off target. So their second blemish of the afternoon. They travel to 4-2-26 as we'll head over to Ryan Long.
Back in Premier Division again, Ballwood a bit inaccurate, but still lead 3-7-25. Noble Park just the two behinds.
It's an interesting one.
Indeed. So, taking the kick in here is Daniel Verstegen. Just searching for some options. Coldstream, a little bit lucky, I reckon, that the Waverley Blues have missed a couple of their opportunities. So it's Sheldon Smith who is the option down the line, or the target at least. Coldstream, get it from the fall of the ball. Conti onto it, trying to rove it. Strongman, however, gets his boot onto it. Forward goes Tonsteel, nearly takes another screamer. He's done that a couple of times, just missed on a couple of occasions. Cam Shield couldn't juggle it, so it falls for Tonsteel again, who's looking lively all of a sudden. He kicks a good ball inboard to Meyer, who's on his own, and Meyer lowers the eyes once more, as they do so well, the Waverley Blues, and the mark has been taken in the forward line by Perry. So he can go back and attempt to kick Waverley Blues' fifth goal. This is going to be a long run in here by the looks of it.
Ben Brown run up here.
Yeah, of course. This is Matt Perry, as opposed to Nick, the ruckman. So this will really, really hurt Coldstream to have Waverley Blues go 4 goals up on them. Perry comes in. The kick is on its way. It looks straight.
That's a goal.
And it is. And the Waverley Blues really pressing home their advantage in this first quarter. And let's go to Ryan Long in the score centre.
Yeah, big start to Fentry Gully in Division 3. 3 straight 18 to Don Vale, yet to score.
Oof. Gee.
I spoke about that. I called that one. I'm happy with that. Listen to pre-game.
So back into the centre here, as we are looking a little grim here at Coldstream Reserve. The Cougars are going to have to Chad Rogers is going to have to find something here for Coldstream.
We had the boundary riders mention the breeze to the right of screen. Not sure it's quite a five goal breeze as they look to go forward again through McNamara. And the lead out there from the forward of the Waverley Blues. Williamson, it might have been.
It's
Just
Perry
those,
again.
Those strong leads. Those strong leads. It's a credit to them. They present so well, and this is what we sort of thought was possibly going to happen.
That was training drill sort of stuff out of the middle there, with McNamara getting the clearance.
They love a long shot at or a long runner.
So Perry now strolls in, looking for Waverley Blues 6, would you believe? In the first term here, strolls in, and his set shot kick is as accurate as they have been today, despite the two points, but that's their 6th.
Just saying as well, Sam Myers, just number 5 for Waverley Blues. He's picked up about 5 disposals. And he's just been on his own. Coldstream just need to get someone on him and stick on him, because this is getting ugly, and it's already in the first quarter. They just need more defence, and if they get the defence right, then they'll be right for this game, because they've got enough firepower through the midfield as well. Like they've got Carrigan and Craig as well. So interesting to see how this last couple of minutes can go.
Let's go to pull in the stats really quickly.
Well, Waverley are just well on top, and they're absolutely annihilating Coldstream in inside 50s 12-4, and they have taken 6 marks inside 50 to 1 Waverley, and have kicked 4 goals 2 from it. So they've just been going bang bang in front of goal.
So we'll see right now if Coldstream can get that next inside 50. As the ball is in the hands of Pesamenti. Oh, he just missed. I think that's Griffin there. No, it's just a high free kick there to McInerney. In fact, it was. He gets the handball off. Pesamenti again gets the ball inside forward 50. Fritsch is the obvious target, and he takes the mark out in front. Well-timed run there at the ball for Darcy Fritsch. He's going to go back and really try and, well, as the first goal for Coldstream did, steady the ship once more a little bit.
This is a big-time goal. He has to kick this one to keep him right in it. Like, this goal here this could be a really good tick to finish off the quarter that they finally kicked 2 goals, so it'll be good.
Yep, so he comes in, he's going to kick from, I'd say that's about 40 to 45 out. He's going to just run around a little bit, get some more leverage up towards the goal square. Is it going to fall a little bit short? It does. Hands to it. Not quite. Conti might have kicked that goal. Oh, it's just missed, unfortunately. Good opportunistic little snap there from Conti. Kicked 6 last week against Scoresby. Couldn't find the goals that time.
He's been a little bit quiet today, Conti.
Yeah, indeed. Let's quickly go to the score centre with Ryan.
Berwick back in front, 2-2-14 over South Croydon, 2-1-13. Then Vermont hit the lead against Park Orchards, 19-14.
It's a little bit of a risky ball there to Strongman. Laying the tackle was Griffin. That was well done, Griffin.
It has to be rewarded.
And it has to be, indeed. So Coldstream get a repeat shot at goal here on the siren, on the quarter-time siren, that is. And Toby Griffin will go back and attempt to really save Coldstream from a bit of an embarrassing first quarter.
They don't want to give away a free kick here.
No, absolutely not.
Just as well, like, they can keep it in there 450. Like, it's really good to see as well, and this will be huge from the siren.
He comes in, Griffin. He kicks it.
Yeah, he stopped it.
And his teammates will go around him. That's quarter time. Oh. And a bit of consternation on the goal line there. We'll have a look at what the actual score was.
I think a free kick was picked out. Bit of rough contact by one of the Coldstream players there. And the goal's been disallowed.
I don't know what it was for. It didn't sort of seem like it.
That is
he
a
ran off his
heartbreaker.
mark, I'm being told.
He ran off his mark. Oh, Griffin. No, Toby Griffin. That is really unfortunate, but all we can do is go back and hope. Let's quickly go to the...
Look at that replay. I don't see where he's gone. Like, it's pretty much sort of straight line from there. But, interesting.
That's rough. That's really rough. Just quickly looking at the goal scorers for that term. Liam Cogar, of course, with 1 for Coldstream, and then for the Waverley Blues, it was Josh Williamson placed, Daniel Playstad both with 1, and then 2 each to Omar Mohammed and Matt Perry as we go to the break here at quarter time. Join us on the other side for the Eastland match of the round.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice-cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Eastland match of the day. This is Waverley Blues getting off to a blazing start against Coldstream, 6-2-38 to 1-1-7. As the players are breaking from the huddle. Let's go down to Brett Beston, who's got Chad Rogers, the coach of Coldstream.
Thanks, boys. Chad, pretty tough first quarter for you. What do you need to do to get back into the game?
We just need to be a bit cleaner with the footy. Our fumbling obviously gave them the chance to be able to run forward of the footy, and their entries to their forwards gave our backs no chance.
And obviously a bit tough around the contest as well.
Yeah, we want to be stronger around there and just being a bit cleaner. Just the first gives were missing the target and therefore put us on the back foot.
Good stuff. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Besto. As we've got, let's have a quick around the grounds check with Ryan Long.
Yeah, just a few updated scores. Heathmont have jumped out to a bit of a lead against Oakley District, 7-1-43 to 1-2-8. Whitehorse in Division 3, 7-6-48 lead Glen Waverley by 40 points, just the 8. And Baldwin 4-8-32 lead Noble Park 2-2-14 at quarter time. And East Ringwood 4-3-27 to 1-1 South. And our man Blakey Montrose with a 1 point lead, 15-14.
Let's go to John O'Van on the boundary line now.
Gents, I was just in the huddle, the Waverley Blues huddle, and Tom Langford not too happy that they dropped off at the last few moments there. They really need to pick up the ruthlessness. He said that they're known to be absolutely ruthless, and they need to just really take it up a notch. I mean, there's 3 quarters to go. He's used a fair bit of emphatic language to get the boys on side. He got the boys absolutely immediately in, and to fire them up, and I'm sure he's done that. 3 quarters to come.
In search of perfection is Tom Langford, apparently. He's 31 points up with the Waverley Blues, as Trent will take us away for the second quarter.
So one-way traffic. Let's see if Coldstream can somewhat turn it around as they try and fight for it at ground level. Trying to wrestle it out of there was the Coldstream midfielder. Laying on his back was Rufus. So 2 rucks will go at it again. There's Craig getting involved once more. Started this game well, and trying to fend off there was the Waverley Blues midfielder.
High fend.
Pinged holding the ball, high fend off, take your pick. So they dump a long one inside forward 50 in search of a leading forward who barreled over anything in his path.
Free kick.
And he's been awarded a free kick for it.
Okay.
No, it was for the second action. It was the second one. Not this one, but the second one.
Got him in the back.
Yep, pushing it back.
So this is Lockie Cogar once again.
Cogar.
Former Lillard boy too.
With already one to his name, looking to add to that today. This would be the perfect start in the second term for the Cougars here. Directly in front. Distance might be a bit of a problem. There's a high up and under, looks to be skewed off the boot. It almost worked out in the end to the leading Edmonds. There's a free kick's been picked out.
You've got a reversal.
Rufus in trouble down there.
With Rufus on all fours, so fingers crossed he is A-OK. Looks to be slowly getting to his feet now.
Edmonds go wave free, but then it's been retaliated, and he's got the free kick now, having a shot at goal.
So Edmonds with a chance to do what Cogar couldn't. Cogar
the Cougar.
It's a mouthful.
That's a cliche there.
So on a 45-degree angle, Edmonds now walks in. And it's an uncomplicated set shot. They've got their second of the afternoon.
It's also his 100th game as well for Mitchell Edwards. So good start to his 100th game, and looking forward he can carry that on.
So the milestone man on the board, Blakey.
Yep. Just saw it on the socials down at Coldstream, so thought I'll bring it into the game today.
Well, Chad Roger will be pleased with that start. Obviously, considering what Tom sort of said at quarter time, he'll be furious with his players to give away such a silly free kick in what was an easy opportunity for Coldstream.
So a favourable start here for Coldstream in the second quarter, making up a little bit for some misfortune there at the end of the first. So Lehman gets the tap down, but roving it was Meyer. He gets it off to a teammate there, searching a little bit wide here. Looks like it's Kinsella onto it. Tackled as he kicked it. Ends up there with Fig. Flying shot at it by Hassan. That was ambitious, but didn't quite come off. So Coldstream are going to need to clean up a bit of a mess. Back onto it was Hassan again. Sees Craig down the line, but further afield was Edmonds. Takes the mark, hands it off to Verstegen. Waits a little bit, kicks it into the face of his opponent, gets it back, shoved in the back, no free kick. Mohammed comes steaming through, right into a tackle. Little chip off the deck there by Coldstream. Goes forward. Great tackle there laid on McInerney. And another tackle there. We'll see a ball up on this near side wing.
Pressure's gone up a little bit at the start of this second, which is great to see from both sides.
Absolutely it is. So Lehman just coming in there, just tapping it down, searching for the free kick, but it's Mohammed to take it away. Off to Hatch. Meyer now. He's in space once again. Meyer, he's done this well. Kick inside forward 50. It just goes out the back of the pocket. Picked up by Ton Steele. Not quite getting the kick away. Crashing in now, Coldstream. That was well done there by Hart. And it's going to just find the boundary line for a throw-in the pocket for the Waverley Blues.
Again, Meyer is just getting open every time. Like, he's just been a dominant man for Waverley Blues this quarter. I think he was on the wing the first quarter, but now I think he's starting to get into the midfield now. So the Coldstream, they're just going to get someone on him.
Interesting to see how that plays out. So Mohammed came crashing through. Really good tackle laid by Verstegen. We'll have another ball up there. Dangerous times here for Coldstream. Just going to have to hold on grimly. So another ball up there. Tapped down by, I think that was Playstead. Into the pocket there. It was Deacon upended. Kick out of the pack there. Couldn't tell from whom. Edmonds onto it, but beating him to it that time. Waverley Blues get the handball over the top. Now it's found Hawkins. Hawkins going to run on with it. Sharing it round. Crashing in Rufus. Gets a handball into space.
calls of ball from the boundary line there. Craig slung over the line and will get a throw in here. Bit of biff now. Fig's not happy. And we'll get that ball up, or throw in fact. Trent.
So tensions starting to flare there, namely Fig. So it'll be tossed back into play as they look to fight for it at ground level. You'd throw a blanket over 20 of them on that arc of forward 50, the way of Waverley Blues. So we'll have another ball up. 2 rucks will go at it again. Landed in the path of Pesamenti, who was set upon quickly by Muhammad. So boundary now.
Yeah, just on the little tete-a-tete there, boys. I mean, Coldstream need to keep their composure. The last thing they want to do is lose anyone to a yellow card.
So there's Craig getting involved again, and his prior is fending off there with some force, it has to be said. It's left the Coldstream player face down and motionless, so they drive it outside 50, sort of a rushed exit, and going off the deck it was Coldstream to no avail as McInerney getting involved, and they'll link up. Coming wide to this broadcast side wing, they'll thump a long one into space. Fritsch leads that race, and he's bumped off it, and the boundary line may win out, although they do well to flick it back inside into the path of Carrigan, who sets sail with a long one.
Huge mistake by Hatch keeping it in there.
And they're ecstatic, the home side fans, as Carrigan slots through their third. As we head over to Ryan now around the grounds.
Yeah, quarter time update for Doncaster East Blackburn. That Doncaster East 5-5-35 lead Blackburn 1-3-9. Back in Division 2, Knox have got the jump on Mulgrave 14-1 at quarter time. And Templestowe Baronia, Templestowe lead by 7 points, 21-14 in a interesting game there.
Just with that one as well. I've just noticed as well that Jesse Lehman, he's playing a bit back, so he's obviously doing the ruck as we speak right now, but he's also surging back as well, helping his backman out, which I think is really good.
Let's quickly go to the boundary line with Brett.
I'm just going to put my nomination in for goal of the day. That Darcy Kerrigan goal was pretty handy right up there at the moment. I think the clubhouse leader for Tobin Brothers goal of the day.
Thanks for that, Besto. Let's see if Coldstream can keep the momentum up as they win a free kick here from the middle. Oh, there's feeling in this one. As picking himself up there was Butcher. Let's quickly go to the stat centre with Paul.
They've done well to get themselves back in the game here, Coldstream. They've kicked 2 goals from their 2 inside 50s this quarter.
Here's another inside 50. Can they continue that trend? Tackled, though, held up in the pocket. Good job there by Turner. Ben Turner it was to lay the tackle.
They've been really well here, Coldstream, locking in their 450, which is good to see. And they're keeping the pressure alive, which is good.
Yeah, it really turned up for this second quarter, thankfully. We definitely have a game on our hands now. Of course, it's Coldstream 3-1-19. Waverley Blues 6-2-38 as burying his way through and trying to release the ball. That was Isley, I believe. And we'll get another ball up there in the pocket. So Waverley Blues just struggling to take it out of defence now. Not finding any clear possessions, but this time just a bit of a tumbling ball. It looks like it's Smith onto it, though, for Coldstream, although Mohammed was agile at ground level. Couldn't quite handle it, though. It's going to come out to Pesamenti, although there's a free kick picked out, and Coldstream can go again through Deacon. Verstegen now is the handball option. High ball. Looks like the eyes, sun getting in the eyes of the Coldstream forwards, so no mark taken and a free kick picked out, however. Let's see who it's going to. This looks like it's going to be Carrigan, who just kicked that last one. So Coldstream really, really trying to put home this advantage here in the second quarter.
Yeah, clear free there. That was a good throw there.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure. I think he was throwing it back to the fielder like in cricket.
So Carrigan to come in, try and kick his second here. Important player for Coldstream, kicks an important goal.
Great goal.
And Coldstream really finding their way back now.
Just saying as well that they're really locking in their 450 score. Like, when have you seen this quarter that it's stuck in Waverley's 450 this quarter? Like, you would say barely, that's for sure. And it's definitely coming in for sure when the pressure's on. And Coldstream right now, Like if we had like a pressure thing on the screen,
Pressure gauge.
Pressure gauge, like on Fox Footy, you would definitely see Coldstream is very high in the pressure game.
Let's quickly go to Ryan Long in the score centre.
A couple more quarter time updates. Norwood lead 15-3 over Doncaster, and East Burwood 12-7 against the Basin.
So the hit out one there by Perry. He gets his handball out into space, although collected quickly there was the winger for Waverley Blues, and it'll invite the Coldstream midfielders to go to work. They can send it inside 50. Turning tackler there was Edmonds. And they can raffle it on the far side, Waverley Blues, although a free kick's been picked out again. So it'll go the way of Turner, collected high.
The tackling pressure's been great from Coldstream in this second quarter. You don't mind giving them away every now and again just to make sure they earn it.
They go short to the long sleeve.
Miller, I think.
Wearing Miller for the Waverley Blues. He surveys the scene ahead and then just dumps a long one high onto the head of the ruckman in Perry. It's off hands, and Coldstream have had the numbers at ground level, so they can pull the trigger inside 50 if they want it, and they do. They've got Fritsch running goal out back. It bounces off his chest, and he was infringed in the process.
Oh, blocked apparently.
Yeah, Hawkins was going up against him, but I didn't see much wrong with it. We'll see it on the replay in a second.
Geez, free kicks certainly playing its part in the Eastland match of the round.
Saying front on contact, but I thought he had a hit at the ball there, Hawkins. So yeah, hard luck on that one.
They've also not relying, like, this is Fritsch's really first real attempt going in for goal. So he missed one before, but this is it.
So Fritsch opens up the angle.
No,
he's missed. Well. So unable to add to his 26 already this season.
Yeah, like they say, they're not really having to rely on Fritsch. Like, this is probably his second attempt for goal, and he's missed both shots. So yeah.
Sorry, Blake. They've had strongmen on him, and I thought he's done a very good job so far. That was sort of the first sort of mismatch with Hawkins there.
Yep.
So taking the kick in here is Simon Hawkins, who we've just been talking about. Waverley Blues just holding on here all of a sudden. So the kick comes out to English, I believe. Just steps around Carrigan. Doesn't happen often. And the kick comes down the line. Sheldon Smith was waiting, but it's been scooped up by the more agile Mohammed. Takes a bounce. Gets the handball off to Rufus, and the kick forward now goes to Perry. And that is what happens when they get you on the rebound here, Waverley Blues. Perry goes low and hard. Oh, not quite to Williamson. So can Coldstream recover this? They can through Pesamenti. And now Koga gets the kick. And a saving mark there taken by Price. So Price goes forward, spearing ball into the centre. It's been marked. And now they go forward again towards centre half forward. Carrigan is there taking the mark. Just looking for options. Has he got anything obvious, i.e. Fritsch or Edmonds? No, he's going to go back and take a shot. This will really, really level the playing field here. Of course, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's Coldstream 4-2-26. Waverley Blues 6-2-38. This kick for Carrigan could even things up. Well, not quite even things up. Bring it within a goal. It's on its way, and it's just drifted right and gone over for the one behind.
Yeah, just back to that passage of play there. That is called one-way traffic. You know, they just make the ball look, that play there made that look so easy, and obviously they could get the mark there, but really good passage of play there, and that killed Coldstream, just that play before.
Let's go to Ryan Long in the score centre.
Yeah, a few more results. Mitcham up to a 37-point lead at quarter time over Croydon. In Division 2, South Belgrave trail Ringwood by 14 points. And in Division 4, Surrey Park lead by 11 points, while Croydon North 41-9 over Nuttawading.
Well, Waverley Blues, they kicked it out of defence, turned it over, and now it's Mitch Edmonds going back to take a shot in his 100th game to try and kick his second goal of the day.
The milestone man.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So this will really really test him here on the length, I reckon. But we'll see. Coming in for his 30th goal of the year, Mitch Edmonds kicks it just before the arc. It looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a strong kick and it's there. Coldstream fighting their way back.
That's a big goal. That's a big goal and a great looking kick. I seen it came off the boot, but she was a fair way out.
So decision making, and I think they're winning all the one-on-one sort of, or the ground level contests essentially. Coldstream. Paul, what have you got for us in the stat
The
centre?
inside 50, they're being really efficient with their inside 50s. They've already had more inside 50s in the first quarter. They've had 7 inside 50s, and they've kicked 4 goals too. And I do know that the breeze is going to the right of screen, but they're being really good with it, and that's it. That is the scoring end at the moment. 10 goals to 1.
Yeah, boundary.
Yeah, don't underestimate that breeze, boys. It might not seem a lot from where you guys are sitting, but it is quite significant. It's not a gale by any stretch, but it's certainly significant, as we've seen with some of those kicks.
So off one step, it was a hospital pass in the end, and it invited Hassan to get to work, although Rufus with a strong tackle laid on Isil.
Isili, I think he likes it pronounced.
Beg your pardon.
Isle, we're being told.
Isle. Okay.
So no clear winner in the ruck, and they can dump a long one to the hot spot. The forwards can fly. It's off hands at ground level. It's anyone's ball. Bodies could just pile on. 30 out from goal. Miller with a kick forward, and it's cut off by Fig with a good juggling intercept. So he's got Carrigan running shotgun, and he just gets it out of there. That might be some sort of deliberate. It'll be thrown in. Paul.
I want to point out that Coldstream are really frustrating the Waverley boys this quarter. 7 free kicks to 2 in favour of Coldstream.
They're just also, sorry boys, as well, I really wanted to see that switch down the passion there, but obviously it got denied really well, backed up there by Waverley.
Indeed. So Craig just sending the ball over the boundary line for another throw-in. And we've got 17 minutes gone in this second quarter. Coldstream have fought their way back to a 5-point deficit. In the ruck, again, it's Lehman versus Playstead. Just out of the middle there, Facey couldn't quite take it. And it's Isle there. Not doing much with it. We'll have yet another ball up as things are just simmering right now. Will there be another surge before the quarter is out? Craig to get the bouncing ball towards the forward line for Coldstream. Not quite there yet. Now a high kick. Who's the target there? It's a 2-on-1 situation. Not quite taking the mark was Strongman. Oh, but at the ground level ball, it was a Coldstream player as it just drifts across the right face of goal. And just for the one behind there. So 5-4-34 to 6-2-38 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Waverley Blues with the lead as they take the kick in. The target there was Facey, but it was just way too wide, and we'll have another boundary throw in. Just at the club room end here at Coldstream Reserve.
I've said this all day that Coldstream are really good at locking the ball inside their 450. Like, I think it's only been about 3 times that's gone into Waverley Blues' 450, so it's really good. I can see how they're getting closer, getting in front for this game.
They know how to work this ground, don't they, Coldstream, of course. Definitely an advantage when teams come up to play here. The tap has found Isle as he kicks a centering ball towards the forward line. Bit of an outnumber situation in favour of the Waverley Blues. Strongman takes advantage and kicks it back to where it was. No mark taken there. Craig just about roved it. Carrigan gets it out to Isle. And that was a good smothering ball there by Kinsella. And we'll get another throw in.
Yeah, great attack there by Kinsella. Otherwise, that was coming straight back into right in front of goals.
They're really trying to find that centred option, Coldstream, with these kicks back inside forward 50, which is good. Carrigan just kicks it around the corner, partially smothered though, and taken over the line there once again by Miller. So a few stoppages in a row here as Coldstream really trying to find that, not the equaliser, but the one that'll put them in front. Edmonds in the ruck this time, taps it down. Meyer, though, gets it out, and Waverley Blues are out here until he fumbled. That was a crucial moment there, and the kick off the deck was marked now by Isle. He'll go back and see if he can launch it inside forward 50. Who's the target down there? It's Fritsch, of course. No mark taken. And just a kick out of the defence. It is going to come back in. Well called. So, kick around the body. I think it was Jai Deacon in this case. Another outnumber situation for the Waverley Blues, and it's off hands and into the pocket for a throw-in.
Waverley just can't get that pace out of the back. They've looked good when they got it up there forward, but they just can't find that sort of slingshot and that move, and they're just bombing it back to the.
Is it a lack of overlap at the moment?
Yeah, probably it is, and they're just probably also Coldstream's pressure is just keeping it really well locked in, as Blake alluded to.
So it looks like finding it at the deck there was Deacon again, and it was marked by a Waverley Blues player in defence there.
So taking time off the clock, although applying the smother there was Craig.
Well done.
And then just walking it over the try line. It'll be thrown in deep inside Coldstream's forward 50.
That's the pressure we were just talking about. Like, to smother that, they're not letting up at the moment, Coldstream, and you'd be so pleased. Chad Roger would be so pleased with how this second quarter's been played.
Just quickly, boys, I think that before that passage of play there between Cogar and Fridge, that's the first time they've got pretty much class hedge, you would say, for the whole game. They just need more space, you'll feel, and let that 12-target market and let Fridge crumb off there. So, yeah, that's the first time I've seen it, so hopefully it doesn't happen again.
So we tick into extra time period here. The second term is stacks on sort of style. 30 out from Coldstream's home. It's been a tale of 2 quarters, hasn't it?
Indeed.
So the rucks fly again. There's a free kick's been picked out rather smartly. Sort of break up play as we head to Ryan around the grounds.
Just an update at Warrandyte, 5-9-39 lead Scoresby 1-1-7, and out at South Croydon they've extended their lead to 5 goals.
So he bites off the lateral ball to Strongman. And he goes short to English. So he's quick to play on. He spots a teammate inboard. Rather dangerous ball to Rufus. Finds him well. And they can spread on the outer wing side through Meyer. So teammates off the leash here. One of them Steele. And he can link up back to Meyer. So they drive it deep inside forward 50, end-to-end sort of stuff. And leading the race is Mohammed. And he can walk into an open goal. Transition play at its best from Waverley Blues.
That's it. Thank you very much, boys. But that's how they play, and that's the way they need to play going forward. Just using that pace they've got. They're a quick side. They've just got to find that extra, run over the top, and look what happens.
First score at a quarter, that for Waverley Blues. This half has been a tale of 2 halves. First quarter, as far inside 50 goes, Waverley Blues 12-6. It's been the opposite in the second. Coldstream's leading that 10-6, but they really needed that goal, Waverley.
Indeed. Yeah, so Waverley Blues move themselves to 7-2-44. Coldstream at 5-4-34. 10-point lead there, of course. 23 minutes gone as we're looking at the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. So back into the centre. Flying high was Perry, but Lehman held his position, got the tap down. Carrigan exits the clearance there. His kick nearly found Fridge, but it was at ground level. Firing a handball out of defence, Waverley Blues now. Overcooked the kick, and it's an outnumber situation here for Coldstream. Running onto it there was Andrada, and his kick was off hands.
I've been pleased with the debutant O'Leary for Waverley. He's on Conti. Conti's been very, very quiet considering he kicked the 6 last week. He's obviously can find the goals, but doing a great job for his first game for the seniors.
He definitely adds a new dimension to the forward line, Conti. So, yeah, good on O'Leary for wrapping him up. Speaking of being wrapped up, that was McInerney. Just lost the ball there. And we'll get another ball up just at right half forward for Coldstream as the ball has spent a lot of time here. Let's go to the score centre with Ryan Long.
Just a couple of Division 1 updates. Beaconsfield have a 2-goal lead against Upper Gully, while Montrose have extended their lead 40-26. Blake?
Big game. There was a pep talk, obviously, I presume, Blake, for this one. A big game.
A little bit more light than last week. Last week was more of a pep talk, but this one was a bit, just go out and get the 4 points.
And it looks like it's worked.
Mind you, I'm happy that Mitcham are winning at the moment. So,
so exiting 50 there is Waverley Blues. That was well done by Turner. Mark taken now by Perry. He tried to play on, managed to do so. A little low ball down here. It just went over the back. Williamson was there. Oh, it comes here to Langford, the coach. Gets it inside forward 50. Easy as you like. And on his own was Daniel Playstead. And Playstead, well, he sees the option out wide. Who guess who? Once again, it's Sam Meyer.
And we've said unselfish. They'll always look for the better option, and the Coldstream need to man up in that forward half once they get it.
Absolutely. So Waverley Blues to kick this goal. They'll go out to a 16-point lead if they manage to, and putting down a little bit of an uprising from Coldstream this quarter. Damage not completely undone by Waverley Blues if he manages to kick this Meyer. He trots in. Does he continue the accurate trend of the day? Indeed he does, with a goal, and that is the Waverley Blues 8th as we go quickly down to the boundary line with John O'Ven.
Gents, Tom Langford would be exceptionally happy with that goal, I suppose, even more as he was involved in that contest just prior to the 50. He just gave his opponent a cheeky tap on the back, Jai Deacon, and said, better luck next time.
Well, can I just say, I think this Sam Meyer is he like related to Grind? He's got the exact same haircut as him, and he's really dominating at the moment.
Well, given they spell the name differently and pronounce it differently as well, it's Meyer and Myers, unfortunately. But good call, though.
Yeah.
Boundary.
Let's go down to the boundary line real quick.
They might be distant cousins or something.
I knew you would reply back to that, Besta.
Go the Cats!
So in the meantime, free kick's been picked out and it'll go the way of Fresher. So he drives it into the path of Playstead. And he goes inboard further.
Well done.
And Meyer, speaking of, has got off the leash again.
Sorry to interrupt there. That Playstead, that's twice to Meyer, and his kicking is spot on. He will always look.
So Meyer called to play on now, and he just sidesteps his marker and drives a long one off target. So an anticlimax there from Meyer.
I think he got a bit too ahead of himself then, Meyer. I'm sorry.
Nearly 2 in a minute.
A rush of blood there by Sam Meyer, but he's kicked the goal before, so maybe we can afford him this one as the kick from Coldstream comes down. Shield couldn't quite take the mark. He was fighting for it at ground level. Great tackle there. A hard tackle by Sam Meyer. He's just laying into Jai Deacon. Let's quickly go to Paul with that stat.
Well, in the tackles, it's fairly even. Waverley lead this quarter in tackles 13-9, and they've had 4 of the last 5 inside 50s, Waverley. I called that out a couple minutes ago. I think they've heard me from the box.
Another efficient tackle there by Coldstream. It's holding the ball, and it was getting his own back was Jai Deacon tackling Mohammed. Gets a wide ball out to Carrigan. Darcy, he signals that he's going down the line. Does so. Back out to that half-forward flank. Edmonds was the option there, but it's just bounced over the line.
Just saying
it's a free kick given away, I think, and it's going to go to, I think this is English.
Sorry to interrupt there as well. Carrigan, he's just been everywhere in this game, you can tell, and it's definitely showing that he wants the boys to get up.
Absolutely. Definitely one of their better players as he's tackled there, Carrigan, as we're talking about him.
It's got some feel here. It's got some feel.
It does. It really does. They're starting to lay into each other a little bit.
Craig took exception to the tackle, and fair enough, it was a little bit high.
So, on the ball up there, no free kick given for that high free kick. Unfortunately for Coldstream, has taken down in the tackle once again. He's going in for it, is Ryan McNamara, the captain. A couple tackles late in the past minute or so. There's the halftime siren, and Coldstream, they fought back in this quarter. Waverley Blues holding them off a little bit. Coldstream 5-4-34. Waverley Blues 8-3-51. As we go to Trent with the goal scorers.
Yeah, so it was Carrigan with a multiple to his name, along with Edmonds in that quarter. From the Coldstream perspective, on the other side of the ledger, the Waverley Blues was a single to Meyer, who was hotly spoken about there, and that was the only goal scorer for the Waverley Blues, the away side. As that'll just about do us here. We'll wrap it up for the second term there. Just repeating the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's 5-4-34, playing 8-3-51. We'll be back on the other side of this.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, "Why, yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice-cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy." And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together. At
Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
So welcome to the halftime show as we have a pretty interesting game on our hands here at halftime. It is the Waverley Blues with a 17-point lead. They lead 8-3-51 to 5-4-34, but some real signs that Coldstream was starting to get into the game after a bit of a slow start. Brett Beston and Jono Venn, and we've got Ryan, of course, who'll be giving us some scores in a moment as well. Jono, pretty interesting first quarter. Coldstream started to come back. They looked like they were going to get back and get pretty close at halftime, but the Waverley Blues, just in that last 5 minutes or so, they just reasserted their authority, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And look, big second half to come. I mean, I think in the change rooms, I think that Tom Langford would definitely be putting the pressure on his boys to definitely lift more than they ever have before. They need to go up another level each quarter because Coldstream are definitely red hot at the moment. And perhaps for the tipsters out there, sorry, perhaps they weren't expecting this, and Coldstream are definitely definitely in this game. I mean, look, anything can happen, and they have the breeze in the final term as well, which is pretty important.
I was just going to mention that because the scoring end has been the clubhouse end, which is obviously the down breeze end, and we've seen significant scoring to that end. And of course, interestingly enough, Coldstream will have the breeze, as you say, in the last quarter. So if they're close enough, that could be a factor, unless we get some sort of wind change or something in the last quarter, which doesn't look likely. But I mean, players for Coldstream, they started to get their way back into the game. Darcy Carrigan, he's been absolutely colossal. Kicked a couple of goals, probably best on ground almost, and he really needs a few more lieutenants to go in with him if they're to get themselves back into this game. Although I thought Lockie Craig, he was quite tough out of the centre as well, and one or two of the others, but they just need to somehow find some more ball and get a bit tough around the contest to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, you mentioned Darcy Carrigan, 5 goals in the last 3 weeks, so he's very important for Coldstream as they try and hit the lead, I think he'll probably have add a few more goals to his name for sure.
The interesting thing is, and I think as we sort of look at the game as a whole, you can see that Coldstream will want, and they're probably not going to get it as much today because it's going to be quite an open game, but they'll want the ball more on the inside because they're more of an inside side. But the Waverley Blues like it more on the outside. They've got more speed on the wings and on the overlap. So if it gets out, the Waverley Blues, so Coldstream really have to try and lock it in and make more of a contest, don't they?
The other thing that I forgot to mention as well from the quarter time huddle was that Tom Langford really wanted the boys to ignore the short option and go long and actually use that space that you mentioned. As you said, if Coldstream want to lock it in, that pretty much plays to, if the Waverley Blues aren't switched on, it actually plays to that idea that if they kick short and make I suppose trying to figure out the worst of, the opposite of make the most, not make the most of their opportunities, then Coldstream will take full advantage.
Significantly for the Blues, because we talked a bit about Williamson before the game, but he really hasn't been a huge factor. Just the one goals, but Omar Mohammed, he's popped up everywhere, not just the goals he's kicked, but he's been really good around the ground as well. He's got plenty of it, and he's linking up nicely with some of his other forwards and the wingers. So he's got 3. Perry's got a couple as well. So maybe it's something Chad Krieger's got to look at. He's got to try and put a bit of work into these guys and somehow stop them from getting the ball.
Absolutely. It's I suppose you could say it's a fine art.
Chad Rogers. I knew I was going to say Chad Krieger. Chad Krieger is the lead singer of Nickelback. I knew I'd do that at least once today.
I was thinking you said Chad Warner as well from the... but
Chad Warner, he's the Red Hot Chili Peppers, isn't he? You can tell I'm just into music, but sorry, but yeah, carry on.
Yes,
sure.
Look, as I was saying, it's a fine art, the art of tagging, and perhaps if they don't want to put a tag on those players, I guess that remains to be seen, and it might actually take their opposition off guard.
Well, the other guy that got off the leash a bit, particularly in the back end of that half, was Sam Meyer. He was absolutely everywhere, and particularly he was really, really good in the tough stuff as well. So I mean, you can't tag everybody or watch everybody, but they've got a few to keep their eyes on because there's a few guys for the Waverley Blues side just threatening to get off the leash, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose if you have all the players 1-to-1 in a 6-6-6 configuration at all times, it would make for a different and more of a difficult game of footy for sure. If you want to tag everybody, it would make things a bit hard.
Good point. All right, we've got a couple of minutes left before we go to a break, so we'll get some scores from Ryan, who's ferreting away in the score centre there. Rhino, what's happening, mate?
Yes, we'll start at the top and start at Premier Division at half-time. Vermont have a 20-point lead over Park Orchards, 46-26. South Croydon have gone away from Berwick, 61-23. Your boys, Noel Park, they're struggling at the moment to hit the scoreboard, 22-38 in favour of Baldwin.
Early days, it's not over.
Still very early, of course. And Rowville, 6-7-43, have got a handy lead against North Ringwood, 2-2-14. Blackburn trailed Doncaster East by 20 points, 28-48. Jumping into Division 1, Mitcham, 46-24. So Croydon have cut back that lead just a little bit, while Montrose have extended their lead 47-26 at halftime. Probably the big shock here is Bayswater. They have a 20-point lead over Moorabah, 49-29. So that's a bit of an upset brewing if they can hold on to that. Looking into Division 2, it's Knox with another bit of maybe an upset here, lead Mulgrave by 3 points, 21-18. And out at Templestowe, scores level with Boronia and Tempe. Boronia's inaccuracy, 4-10-34 to Templestowe, 5-4-34. And then jumping into Division 3, Whitehorse have a pretty clear lead over Glen Waverley, 62-20. So they should be avoiding any relegation talk. And then jumping into Division 4, Surrey Park in a bit of a low-scoring game, lead Churnside Park 29-17. While out at Nuttawading, they came back in that quarter a little bit, but they're still 33 points behind Croydon North, 31-64.
Great stuff. Thanks, Rhino. Those Matt Mirrelbach results, an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Just about time for us to wrap it up here on the halftime show. But, boy, we've got a really interesting second half in store out here at Coldstream. Halftime score, it's the Waverley Blues, 8-3-51, leading 5-4-34 over the home side, Coldstream. Thanks to the halftime team. We'll take a break and come back with the second half after this.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing kickboxing personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to FNL Game Day. This is the Eastland Match of the round, coming to you live from Coldstream Reserve. It's a Division 3 clash between Coldstream and Waverley Blues. A 1v2 matchup here. And currently the scores on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard are Coldstream 5-4-34 to Waverley Blues 8-3-51. They got out to a fast start, Waverley Blues, in the first quarter. Coldstream pegged it back, and then Waverley kicked a couple of safe ones. And welcoming back to the commentary position, Trent Callan. How you doing, man?
We got the last name correct there, Jared. Good on you. But no, it's been a game of momentum swings, hasn't it?
Indeed.
Almost a tale of 2 quarters.
Absolutely. So, Scott and Blake, how are we seeing the rest of this game? Do we reckon Coldstream can peg it back?
Oh, I don't think they can, but I want to see a close game. But I tip Waverley Blues all the way, so I think they can go all the way. Bit laughing. I've always tipped Waverley. I tip Waverley. I said Coldstream to challenge Waverley, but yeah.
Okay, I
think there was confusion. He did say on pre-game he was definitely in the Waverley camp, but I think in our initial chat.
Got it. All right. Well, away for the start of the third quarter now. Tap down there by Lehman, swooped up. It's Tonstill in the middle there. We haven't seen him in the midfield yet, so that's an interesting move made by Langford, Langford himself came out, didn't quite take the mark, and it's been shoved forward there by Waverley Blues. No mark to Perry. This is Matt at ground level. Verstegen goes hard. Lehman in the back line as he's floated back there quite a bit throughout the game. Little kick outside of defensive 50. It finds Pesamenti. So he tight ropes the boundary, goes down the wing. McInerney not taking the mark, but gathers his ball, gets it back to Pesamenti, who's run on. Kick partially smothered, I think. We'll see. No, so it's down to Griffin. Gets their ball to Craig. Now Lehman. That was a good spot-up kick by Craig. Lehman now just shoving it inside forward 50 for Coldstream. Conti, dexterous at ground level, gets the kick towards the goal square, and the mark's been taken there by, it's got to be Darcy Fritsch. He gets up, and it looks like indeed it is. So Darcy Fritsch will go back and attempt to kick his first for the game. Hasn't actually kicked one today. It'll be his 27th for the year, of course. He's looking confident as he goes back to try and put Coldstream's 6th on the board. We're just a minute and a half into this third quarter. Will he kick it with the leg with the tattoos? No, the one without, and it's a goal. So Coldstream with a handy start here in this third quarter.
He's easy to pick out. That's a solid tattoo on that leg, but Strongman will be a little bit disappointed. Obviously started really well, but he's definitely unfortunately let that goal in. So hopefully, the Strongman can sort of tighten up that defense, but he's been very, very good for the most of, well, at least half of the game so far.
So we've just heard that it's pronounced Sam Meir, so apologies to Meir and his family as Trent takes us away for this throw up.
So leading the race there was McNamara, and he's off to the races. So he dumps a long one to an outnumber. Coldstream favour at ground level, although Perry can lead the race to the ball again, and he dives with an outstretched hand to sort of rake it in. And he's set upon in a gang tackle. We'll have a ball up, courtesy of the umpire and Nick Dorr. So good mate of mine there, little shout out. Tosses it high again. The two rucks are going at Craig with a clearance. He misses his mark by hand. Leading the race there was Griffin, who was ripped in a good tackle, and the ball will find itself over the line in front of the spectators there, in front of the club room. So it'll be tossed back into play. 60 out from home, the way of the Waverley Blues. So using his strength there to good advantage was Lehman there, and held without it there. No tackle, no free kick rather awarded to Meyer.
Looks like the tackling pressure is carried over from that first half, which is good to see. As it looks like McNamara will take the kick. We'll quickly go down to Besto on the boundary line. Or will we, as the mark's there been taken, I think, by Mohammed. Yeah, let's go down to Besto
Just
right
really
now.
quickly, boys, I just had a quick word with Chad at halftime, and his message was pretty simple. He said, just be relentless and just do what you were doing in the first quarter. The first half.
So Mohammed, he kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. This to put a 4th to his name, and of course a 21st to his name for the year. Slow run in. This will really push Waverley Blues further in front. This will be a 17-point lead. The wind catches it quite clearly, and it drifts right, unfortunately, for Mohammed.
It definitely bent at the end there, so that wind down the right side is playing somewhat of a part.
I got the so-so hand signal there from John O'Ven. So
kick or so
wind? Due to the wind, yeah. Maybe it was.
Maybe it was the kicking action.
Yeah.
So heading out to the broadcast side and finding Carrigan. He's got options further afield. And he just sends a high one, and up and under. Fritsch will fly.
Good mark.
And with strong hands, pulls it down. So he's going to send this kick probably where he'd like to be. Heads in the ruckman's direction in Lehman. He's got work to do at ground level, and he's set upon a good tackle by a strong man, as we'll head to Ryan around the grounds.
Yeah, big top of the ladder division battle at South Belgrave. They trail Ringwood by 11 points, while East Burwood have a handy lead, 55-14 over the Basin.
English tried to squeeze a kick down the line there for the Waverley Blues, but it just tight-roped the boundary line and ended up teetering over. So we'll get another ball up there out in front of, I think it's the Coldstream bench. Indeed it is. That's a very, very short throw in. It's going to have to come back, unfortunately, for the boundary umpire. Do it again, mate. So, Waverley Blues looking for that first goal of their first goal of the third quarter. Of course, the first one was kicked by Darcy Fritsch as we get a ball up this time as it was stacks on. Things once again simmering a little bit. So tap down and now into the path of Witchell. It was a kick along the deck there. It was to Turner. He gets it off to McNamara and a good kick. Oh, nearly marked by Langford. So coming out was a Coldstream defender. Just got the handball into the middle of the ground. It's mostly Waverley Blues, but set upon there was Miller, I think. Well done by Hassan laying that tackle. So a ball up, basically dead centre of the ground.